Alright, welcome back everyone. I hope you all had a week. We'll just leave it at that. No pressure on it.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, a week.
Excellent. Oh. Last we left off, you guys were in a dungeon. You cleared out this room. Lantern was anxietied about fairy fire. Which is gone, by the way.
Yay!
The kobold does not have to glow now.
Unfortunate.
The thing is, I like not being hit with spells and weapons. And not being seen is a great way to not be hit by spells and weapons.
This may be so, but you were the one who signed up to be a Delver.
This is true, which is why I still go to places where spells and weapons might hit me.
Yep.
Indubitably. Now Fiona has signed up to be hit by spells and weapons, because that means she gets to punch people.
There you go.
I turned the door into styrofoam.
I wouldn't say it was styrofoam.
He threw up on a door so hard that the door died.
I wouldn't say you turned into styrofoam, but you definitely messed it up solidly.
Tinfoil?
Probably a little more accurate. Just a little more accurate. But you are now standing in the room. You have a few deceased drow. You have the.
I would like to go into the room, please.
No, but you can go into the room.
Haha, I'm in the room.
Haha! She joins us.
Huzzah.
Alright.
We should probably start investigating these boys. Or girls.
Check the bodies.
These corpses.
The sexual dimorphism is clear at the very least.
I'll look at a dead guy.
Fair enough.
Searching of dead guys commence.
Yes.
Okay, so readily enough, it's easy enough to locate the small loop of chimes that the one had used to summon the spiders.
Ooh.
It is a black leather with silver chimes. It almost looks like bells, but yes, on a close examination, it's definitely chimes.
Okay.
Huh.
Is it magic, or is it just something about how he was playing it?
I think it was magic, because
Lantern.
Hell yes, my specialty. Arcana.
got this, Lantern.
$12.
Yeah, it's looking magical.
I think this might be magic.
I think you might be right.
You know how to read magic. And she hands the chimes over.
That might be true, but I'm not gonna know how to,
Well,
I can
No,
tell you
I'm
what
not
type
expecting
of.
you to summon spiders. I'm just thinking that if you have it, we're less likely to accidentally summon spiders.
yeah, I don't think we actually want to summon spiders, so I don't think identify is quite necessary right now.
Well, we know it summons spiders,
Yeah,
so we can identify it later.
exactly. That's kind of my point.
Sounds good.
From there, we can get the exact activation sequences.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
great.
And there's more than just spiders.
I mean, you can only eat so many spiders before you get sick of spiders, you know?
You would recognize that these left no corpse. The spiders.
I don't think these
Ah,
are edible spiders.
Well, that's
I don't think
the
these
worst
are-
kind of spiders, if you ask me.
physical spiders, or at least not permanently physical spiders.
Lantern looks slightly disapproving of the idea of something that summons animals you can't even eat.
Oh, poor Lantern.
Do these guys have anything on them other than the chimes?
Other than chimes, they've got chainmail, they have their swords, and their crossbows. No,
I
you're
can
not-
gather
you're
the
not-
swords. How many swords are we seeing here?
Shit, how many did you guys fight last session?
Six?
6? Yeah.
4 or 5, I think.
I couldn't tell you at gunpoint.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there was 5 in this room according to this.
And then, yeah, you'd find 5 short swords.
All right, 5 short swords. I'm adding those.
Nothing really exciting about them.
I'm pretty sure these are going to be handed to Vellos as scrap.
It probably felt like more because of the fake spiders.
Yeah.
Well, if we need to make some kind of metal item, I can do that later with these.
Yep.
Poor Vellos. He's getting pack muled.
Okay, other than, do we want to head into the next room? That's the one you actually snuck into, isn't it, Lantern? I think.
I think so. I believe that is the storeroom with bottles of something. But it's really hard to open a bag when you're a spider, so I don't quite know what they're bottles of.
Well, we can go and check that out and then go to the next room we haven't explored yet and see what else is down here.
Okay.
I think, other than this room to the north, here the only one we haven't gone through is the puzzle door.
Yeah.
I also don't remember if that would mean this door is locked or if this door is just something that a spider was not capable of opening.
Well, Dori's going to check it out. Is it a door that is locked, trapped?
You mean investigation?
Okay. Where am I? A 9.
Well, you're not seeing a deadbolt. You're not seeing much else. It's definitely a door.
Hey, Vellos.
Want me to double check?
Yeah, you're better at that than I am.
Can do.
Okay. Dragon standing next to rabbit haunches.
Rabbit haunches?
Just to throw back to last session.
that was an accident, and you know it.
Oh, yes.
A natural 20 for a 28. Okay.
Grief.
Okay. Vellos.
Yes.
You find a thin, ethereal strand stretching from the top of the doorframe to the bottom.
Oh,
And it's
good thing
very
you had me double.
subtle blue glow, almost completely masked in the pale torchlight of the ever-burning torches around you,
Yikes.
that you
Good thing you
realize
had
are
me.
affixed to the wall.
Good thing you had me double check, Dori. It's another one of
Yep.
these magic tripwires.
Oh, goody.
Oh, goody.
And you were able to detach it, right?
I wasn't. Fiona was last time.
Okay. Let's get Fiona over here, because
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. All right, another one of these.
Yep.
Let's see if my luck will be as good as it was last time.
Are you
can't.
all...
Huh?
Nothing? Go ahead. As you're all standing there. Give me that
Gonna
Arcana
step
check.
back.
What was that,
Few
Vellos?
feet. Bells is gonna step back a bit just to.
Probably a good idea.
yeah, Dory will take a step back.
I'm good here.
Oh, am I making a
It's Arcana.
Arcana check or? Okay.
It's Arcana with the Thieves' Tools, if that makes sense.
So I would be using my thieves' tools with my wisdom modifier.
Isn't Arcana intelligence?
Wisdom, actually.
Is it really?
Oh no, it is
No, it
intelligence.
isn't.
I was going to say that.
Never mind. My bad. I was looking at
about-
animal handling, which is right above it.
I'm not ready to hop into my car and drive all the way over to Hasbro headquarters. Just smack into the player's handbook.
No, that is totally my bad. I was looking at the wrong line.
Yeah, no, it's just an Arcana check.
Okay, well, I have proficiency with Arcana,
Yes.
but I only have a +1 because it's intelligence. Okay.
You still do better than me with that one.
16. Arcana tool.
16 is enough as you are on the floor, scooting these probes into the very narrow gap between the door and the floor. You're almost blindly scraping at ruins, and at first, when the thread breaks, you think you've triggered it. Until it starts
see
to
Fiona
slow,
flinch.
gradual dissolve, like much like the last time you worked with one of these.
Oh, that was close. I thought I triggered it by accident.
Ugh.
Wouldn't be the first time for sure, but
No.
alright.
Nice.
Looks like I got it.
Yep, you're getting better and better at those.
Well, hopefully I don't run into too many that are impossible.
Hopefully.
These ones are just hard to reach.
I might be getting better at spotting these things, but I don't know how the hell to disable half of them.
And I'm crap at both.
So far, nothing has deviated from my studies in the spell books. So,
Yeah.
Alright, trap's disarmed. Door is standing there like a door.
Fiona will carefully open the door.
Okay, in the name of fire code, it opens outwards.
Alright.
And you are
She's
presented
the one
with-
who is. Since she was the one disarming the trap, it makes sense that she should be the one to open the door to make sure the trap is disarmed.
Okay, and you're inside the room. Before you are 4 shelves running along the lengths like so. a chest on the floor in the middle. While the shelves seem to have some more regular sundries, I guess, there are a few, aside from the sacks that Lantern has spotted over here, or the leather pouches, you do notice that there's a few other things of minor interest. Among them, you notice a spider statuette on this shelf that has... And this is what really makes it easily noticeable, is the silver inlays over what appears to be a slate statuette. Slate or granite, you're not sure in the lighting.
Oh, well, that's pretty in a creepy way.
Well, they
Fiona
obviously
will-
like spiders.
Fiona will call out, "Hey, this is definitely the room Lantern found. I see the shelves and the chest. And there's this interesting spider statue inlaid with silver."
Oh.
Oh, we might be able to get some money for it.
Yeah,
I think maybe it would be smart to detect magic first. And I
Yeah.
do have detect magic prepared. So as soon as I
Fiona will
figure
walk over to the sacks and check inside one of them.
Okay, so you're over here.
I would like to go on in there and detect magic to see if I can, pinpoint magic specifically on that statuette.
Yeah, I can actually detect magic, but it takes 11 minutes because I'm out of.
I'm
mana.
just using a spell slot on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, right off the bat, Fiona's gauntlets are glowing. The statuette is not glowing. There is no glow coming from the pouch. You see a faint glow coming from the chest. You see a glow coming off of this shelf from one of the pouches, so if you had to give it a guess, it's probably from a single item.
Okay, the spider isn't magical. There's something magical in the chest. There's something magical on... I think it's just one item in the pouch is magical.
On this shelf. So
On the on the shelf.
And none of the items on this shelf appear to be magical. Purely decorative.
Okay. I would like to get a closer look at those objets d'art.
English, please.
Objects of art.
Okay, so this shelf or this shelf?
Let's start with the one with the spider statuette on it.
Okay. Everyone else?
Vellos
Coming into the
will
room,
check the
checking
chest.
out.
You're gonna check the chest.
Bruno will follow and we'll check to see what's in one of the smaller crates.
All right, these are shelves, not crates, so
Oh, then shelves.
I just can't find my shelves. All right. Vellos, what are you doing with the chest?
Gonna make sure it's not trapped first.
Okay. Go
Or
ahead and
try
roll.
to.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
You're
That's
not finding
less
anything on the
great.
chest. It's locked,
Mm.
that much you can determine. But you don't see any trap mechanisms.
Well, far as I can tell, it's safe, just locked. So, you're up to bed again, Fiona.
Oh, Dori can also do regular locks.
Yep.
Oh, right, I
You
forgot
want me to do
too.
it?
Yeah. Either or.
Okay. Give me something to do here.
Fiona will pull her
Crack
head out of
that
the
open.
sack she has it shoved in. Yeah, Dori can probably handle that one if it's not magical.
Okay.
Well, maybe. An 11.
Everybody, I need you to make con saving throws.
Oh, no.
Of course.
Fuck.
It's alright. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh no.
Oh, Bruno.
Okay.
Oof.
Everybody rolled above a 12. You take 1 damage. Everyone who rolled below a 12, you take 3. As a cloud of
3
poison
damage.
gas ejects from the lock. Ejects from the keyhole in the chest.
Okay.
Wait, that's it?
Yes.
Yep.
I rolled so low.
I was worrying some kind of other effect. I've got a 6.
I rolled so low.
I am not complaining about that 6. I want to waste that kind of bad rolls now.
Yeah,
Right?
really.
Guys,
No.
guys, it was 3d6. I rolled 3 1s.
I'm really happy about that.
Yes.
That's-
Normally I don't like those rolls, but for that one I'm happy.
Yeah, I will take them where I get them.
Yep.
As a pungent, acrid smell floods the room,
Ugh.
you consider for
Sorry,
a
Fiona, who
moment,
had her sack, was not prepared for it and coughed loudly.
you consider for a moment whether or not dungeons can spawn in with expired trap mechanisms.
You see Vellos coughing hard enough to fling a few scales loose.
I'm gonna get those scales real quick. Just like get them and have them, please.
Okay.
Well, since I've opened the chest and gotten
No,
the
it's
face
still
full-
locked.
Oh, it's still locked?
You just triggered the trap.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, Fiona, this one's beyond me.
Okay. You
Yeah.
want to trade positions and you can check out these non-magical sack goods?
Sure.
Fiona, the sack you were looking through has a couple of vials, all of which are full of the same kind of purplish fluid that looks very distinctly like the one you saw in the fountain over here.
Don't drink that, it tastes terrible.
Indeed.
What did we determine it was, or did we?
We
I
determined it
think
was
it's
foul.
dye.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't dye anything, as a reminder from Lantern.
Well, I think it's dye for water, like to make fountain water purple. I'm not water, so obviously it wouldn't work on me.
Okay.
All right. Fiona will go over to the chest and she will attempt to unlock it.
Okay.
But since it's not a magical unlocking, it's not with proficiency. A 13.
Not quite enough. You're having trouble with the lock.
I could try it, but I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
Well, I've got a spell that'll do it, but it'll also alert everybody within 300 feet.
Pretty sure the only people left are the ones behind the puzzle door.
I don't want to
Yep.
see what happens when Lantern makes an attempt.
I would
I'm sorry?
honestly like to see what'll happen if Lantern tries as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dexterity check?
Yep, with thieves' tools.
Fiona will hand over her thieves' tools just because she's curious.
Okay,
Now,
so
what's
I'm
your
going
roll
to
at
tell
that
you.
20?
I'm going to tell you before rolling, no matter how this goes, how Lantern starts. Lantern starts by thoroughly investigating every single tool in the kit, squinting at them, and determining which one is the one she's going to unlock this thing with.
You've got polished mirrors on extendable arms. You've got small bits of metal that are kind of hook-shaped. Hang on, let me just...
Okay, after punching herself in the face with one of the extendable arms and making a little yap noise in startlement and dropping it,
You have metal pieces like this.
she's going to take one of those little curved metal doohickeys and confidently insert it into the lock.
Alright, give me that check.
22.
Lantern somehow pops
What
the
did I
lock while
say?
looking like she has no idea what she's doing.
Aha! Ah, she says in triumph, like she expected this to happen.
Thank you,
Oh, good.
Barasta.
I think Dori and I were just overthinking it.
I guess.
Dori got. I think you got spooked by the trap.
Yeah.
I was overthinking it because I'm more used to dealing with magical shit. So it makes sense that Lantern got this one.
I liked the click noise it made, and so I kept going in that direction, she says, helpfully.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Sure.
So it does.
Whatever works, I guess.
Well, Lantern, you probably wouldn't know what you were feeling. An expert would probably recognize that the 6th tumbler slot wasn't a tumbler slot, but a pressure plate for the trap.
Lantern sure doesn't know that, though. Lantern's pretty sure that she likes this whole lockpicking thing, and maybe she learns how to do this for real.
I'm gonna need to make another set of lockpicks, aren't I?
It seems like it would
Probably.
be an easier way to get into things than some of the ways I have tried.
Hey, Vellos, we just found you a use for some of the scrap metal.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not responsible for anything Lantern gets into. Anyways, popping open the chest. It is not a very large chest, but within it you see a few gems, a lot of coin, and a small glass globe.
The thing that Lantern, having thrown the chest wide for the entire team to see, immediately picks up that little glass globe to look closer.
That globe would be the item of magical glow.
Oh, well, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, we should put that aside. I
Illusion
start
magic would be the kind of magic you're getting from detect magic, Lantern.
It is glowing so much with the magic of deception.
Well, when I start doing identify on all the stuff we have to identify, we'll put that in the list of things I have to identify.
Okay, but for now it will go into my pockets.
Yes, of course it does. Okay.
How
we've
how many gems?
3 gems. What
2
you're
gems?
looking at appears to be an onyx, a chunk of obsidian, which you realize quickly because ow, it's sharp. And I wrote down 3 gems, but only see 2 on the list. We're just gonna call another onyx.
Okay, so 2 onyx.
2 onyx, and an obsidian, and a bunch of coin.
Sitting down to spend a couple minutes counting, you'll come to around 400 gold coins worth of value.
Cool.
All right.
Because I am
Nice.
Cool.
the amount you guys are getting, I am not busting into other coin types.
No, that makes sense.
Fair.
Yep.
So there is another magical item up on the other south shelf that Bruno's not at.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dori will head over there.
Hey.
Lantern's going back to the non-magical decorative art objects to see which of them are the most easily pocketable.
It wouldn't be the spider statuette. That one's that one's about the size of a house cat.
Yeah, we're group pocketing that. Like, we're taking that with us, obviously, but that's not something that Lantern herself is going to inspect and appraise and determine if she's bringing it.
There are a few other little trinkets and knickknacks of arguable value. Not all of them are spidery themed.
Okay, can I just add these to my inventory under trinkets and knickknacks of dubious value?
Sure. They will have silver piece in value.
10-4.
Okay, as for you, Dori, it's easy enough to find the magic item in question that Lantern had pointed out on the shelf as a potion.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
Another thing to identify.
Yep.
The contents of which looks much like a it looks a lot like a healing potion,
Uh-huh.
but with gold swirls through the liquid.
Huh.
So it's either a stronger healing potion or something similar to it. Okay.
We will have to see.
Dori will stick that in a pouch to take with her. Take with us. Is there anything else in here we need to check out before we...
You're not seeing much else. There is
Lantern did say Fiona found like goblets or something that were magical, or
not
No,
gauntlets.
Gauntlets.
gauntlets. Yeah,
No,
I
that's Fiona's gauntlets that she's currently wearing.
oh, the one she's
My
wearing.
gloves.
Yeah,
Yes.
right, because the tech magic does that too. I
Yes.
forgot.
Everybody's magical equipment would also be detected.
Right.
Yeah.
Threw me for a
I've
loop.
got a mace glowing at my hip.
Wait, how many
Or
other
dark.
vials of weird purple water are there? Because I already have one, so I might as well gather the rest.
There was 4 in that bag.
Well, now I have 5.
Okay.
And a
Yeah.
bag to carry them in.
If we see a lepajet again, it is a wepajet, right? Or is it
A
a
wepajet.
wap? A wepajet, thank you. If we see him again, maybe he can figure out what the hell these have in them. Or
Well-
if we can find another alchemist.
Yeah, I think we want to try to find him. Or I know Bruno wants to try to find him, but
Uh-huh.
and so do I. I've got some questions.
I mean, I'm
In
fine
the
with that.
meantime,
I'm
Do
curious
I-
myself about that book.
yeah.
In the
Do I
meantime,
do the party? Do I do the identifies now? Or are we going to do the puzzle room first and then settle down and do the identifies?
If we do the identifies now, we might have more weapons to fight against whatever's in the puzzle room.
Okay. So I've got the orb and the potion. And was there anything else?
orb the potion, you have the chimes.
All right, the chimes.
The chimes. Okay. Neither was something I was forgetting. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to spend half an hour ritual identifying things.
Yep.
That's fine. Okay, the orb you identify as a drift globe.
A drift globe.
Yes, it's... Hang on, let me get to its actual page. The potion you identify is a potion of resistance towards radiance damage.
Huh, that's
Yes.
an interesting one.
And then the chimes.
While waiting for the identify to happen, Lantern's going to pick a card.
Okay, so let's go ahead and write down the effects of the drift globe for you guys. It's a little bit longer. What card are you drawing?
I drew the Bolt of the Cloud Jumper.
Okay. What's that do since I'm getting everybody the Drift Globe info?
Drift globe, drift globe.
Here you go, Drift Globe.
Yay.
You drew the card Bolt of the Cloud Jumper.
Yes, when you use this card as an action, a ball lightning appears in your hand. As a bonus action, a creature holding the ball can shoot it at a target within 120 feet. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 3d6 lightning damage. The ball disappears after 1 minute or after being shot. A creature can use a bonus action to pass the ball to a willing creature within 120 feet. A receiver must use its reaction to catch the ball or it disappears. The first 3 times the ball is passed, the damage it deals increases by 1d6 and the save DC increases by 1. The damage added by passing the ball increases to 2d6 at level 6 and 3d6 at level 14.
So what you're saying is this is just a more dangerous game of hot potato.
I'm saying this is a good card.
Okay, that sounds really cool.
This is a dangerous game
potato
of hot
lightning
potato.
bolt.
Very much so, but it's also a good card.
Oh no, I'm not arguing
Yeah.
that at all. Okay, interesting. Now, I'm going to assume that this is based off of your spell save.
Yes. It's a dexterity saving throw. I would assume it's my normal spell save DC because it doesn't give me any
the
other
clause
number.
doesn't specify if it goes to somebody else's spell save when it's passed over or not.
I would assume it would still be mine because it's still my spell.
True. It's a weird one, and I wish they just clarified it. That's all.
Agreed.
Anyways, so there's your drift globe. And then the spider chime.
Yeah.
Spider chime, making spiders like a spider chime.
Does the drift globe require attunement?
No.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is something that it would make, I think, a lot of sense for someone like Vellos to have because it feels like it would save him casting light.
Oops,
Yeah, and he
I did
tends
not
to
mean
be the one to cast
send
it.
that right away. I forgot to write down that this item does need attunement.
Okay, the chime needs attunement.
Yeah.
Okay.
You two.
Uh,
There we go.
Lantern is going to offer the drift globe to Vellos from her pocket.
Okay.
You had hand it over to Dori for identification, but yes.
Well, what I mean is I'm going to take it out of my inventory and suggest that maybe Vellos has it for now because he can benefit from it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He tends to be the one to cast light.
Okay. So now you have all of those items.
Okay.
Is the drift globe are speaking its command words like action, bonus action kind of thing? Or
An item like this, since it's a singular word, I'd probably look at it as either a bonus action or a free action.
Well,
See
the
that?
one to make it float 5
Oh, here we
feet
go.
off the ground as an action.
So
To make it actually light up, I'm not sure. It doesn't say.
Yeah.
I would call both of them an action,
Okay.
especially since one of the effects is casting daylight.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fair. But hey, it means
Hey, daylight's much stronger than the light spell, so that's a good thing. And I think daylight can also do other things too.
It
I just
forget what.
can.
And you can have it follow you around.
All right. What are we doing, people?
Okay. Well, we're probably now looking at the puzzle room.
Yeah, we should probably take that
All right.
cool spider statue with us just because it's cool.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So everyone's going over here. You are faced with the door missing a few
Oh, can I ask
hexagon.
for
Yes.
one thing? As we go out, Fiona's going to ask for someone to hold her up to see what the payload of the magical door trap is.
sure.
Okay.
Oh,
Give me an
can do
Arcana
that.
check.
Okay. Just because I am that's a 13.
You're not 100% sure, other than the fact that you know it would cover an area around the door.
Okay.
The
So
symbols
since
are
I don't know what it is, I don't know how to take it with me. Got it.
The symbols are small. It is complex.
Cool.
It's engraved into a door frame. All the frustrating things.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, damn. Daylight's
Well, I
first
have
level
no
spell.
idea what this would have done. But
But you know you could still trigger it if you wanted to.
yeah, I don't think I want to.
Fair enough.
I mean, I guess I could stand far enough away and just
Ye-
huck something at the door and see if that'll make it explode.
I should specify you could manually trigger it.
Yeah.
Nah,
Okay.
I'm good.
All
Thank
right.
you, though.
Figured I'd offer.
Yeah, no, it's like I appreciate it. But, you know, if I can't take it with me, what's the point of knowing what it does?
Very practical.
Extremely.
Yes.
All
I
right.
was just curious if it was something I could remove, and then we have a magical trap.
All right.
But
you're in this room with the spider missing the 3 hexagon tiles, parts of its legs and its head, which you did recover.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Who has them?
I think all of us just sort of have various pieces.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lantern goes ahead and surrenders her piece to the group.
Can't remember if Dori had a piece, but if she did, she.
The group nebulously has them. We can just save the confusion in that regard.
Yeah, and just put them in the
Yep.
door.
Yep.
Okay,
The
slotting.
leg pieces go where the leg pieces go, the head piece goes in the head.
Easy enough as you slot all the pieces in.
Remember,
The
it had like 3 empty slots in it too, right?
as
I'm
you slot all
misremembering.
3 pieces in, the head of the spider pops out with a stone grinding sound, and the fangs elongate as a metal pieces, as 2 sharp metal points. But it otherwise doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Can we take another look at that spider statuette and see if there's anywhere that 2 metal fangs might slot into it?
The spider statuette is just a statuette. As you look over it, it has, as far as you can tell, no relation to this door.
Okay. Now there were 2. Was it 2 little prongs or 2 little depressions?
2 little prongs.
Two little.
Here's a
claws.
stupid thought. How do they like a vial of the purple water?
I mean, we can try. We do have 4, and we can always fill up more.
We have
vials.
5. Lantern got one earlier.
Ah,
Let's give her a try.
we can always get more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see if this thing craves purple water.
As you're looking around inside the spider's mouth, you're not seeing like aside from the metal points coming out of the fangs, it doesn't look like it actually goes deeper into the statue itself on the door.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to put the prongs in the orange water. I mean the purple water. Sorry, I forgot what flavor of water was.
Orange is a completely different end of the spectrum.
Total opposite color.
Yep. Well, not completely opposite. That's yellow.
Close enough, though.
Close enough.
Nothing seems to react as you plug one of the vials into one of the fangs.
I am going to keep looking, announces Lantern, and she starts digging through the trinkets.
Weren't there holes in the abdomen as well that were
Yes.
different from the tile slots?
Yes.
Yes. And the head does not come off the door.
Not after you slotted it in. It seems to have locked into place.
Dori saw the fangs. They look sharp.
Yes.
Dori sighs and uses her thumb to try to give the fangs some blood, basically.
Are you just using are you pricking both at the same time? One thumb across 2? How are you doing this?
Depends on how they are from each other. If one thumb will work, she will. Otherwise, she'll use.
You could just use the one thumb.
Okay.
Okay, while Lantern's digging through her pack, Dori comes walking over with a heavy sigh and pricks her thumb into it, taking an ouch. No, I'm not rolling damage, I'm just saying it ouches.
Oh, okay.
As you pull your thumb back, the small amount you gave seems to light up kind of the outline of the spider. You hear a whooshing come from the 3 holes on its abdomen. And you hear, as the spider's head pops back in, you hear a mechanism within the door unlock.
Aha! Figured it out.
Yeah, blood. Did it have to be you? We couldn't have gone and grabbed one of the corpses?
Might not have worked. Might need living blood. Okay.
I hate how I can't argue that.
Okay. Is there, can you just push the door open, or does something have to be turned to open it?
As you're examining it, you realize that the spider legs are kind of sticking out like handles, the ones that you slotted in.
Okay.
And the hinges makes it look like a pull door.
Okay, so she'll grab the handles and pull.
Okay. You pull open the door. And the party doth heads inside.
We do.
Before you sits a large treasure hoard.
Treasure. I'm glad we found something because this dungeon's been very clean.
Yeah.
That gleam's coming back into Vellos' eyes again.
As all of you enter the room, the door behind you clicks shut with a hiss.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
And descending down from the ceiling.
Oh, damn it.
Did you really think it was going to be that easy?
No.
No, that, damn it, was at my cord being a giant tangle of wires.
Understandable.
Yes.
Fiona didn't think it would be that easy, but sometimes, as much as she loves to punch people, it is nice just to have things given to you once in a while.
Once in a while, no,
Occasionally.
I understand. It's never that easy, though. Some people at the
No, it's
helm.
not.
As 3 figures descend down from the ceiling before the pile of gold, is 2 of those giant spiders,
Of course.
and at first you think it is one of those ebony-skinned creatures until you realize its lower body leads into a giant arachnoid form.
Oh,
Oh, fun.
now
Lovely.
that's
Like
an
a-
interesting dungeon monster.
It still sits in the large size category.
Uh-huh.
No, somehow I am not surprised in the least.
Nope.
Agreed. Spider Drow Centaur. Lovely.
That's work.
Rider.
Yeah.
I bet that
Yeah.
thing can reach anything on any shelf ever made.
Probably.
Probably.
It's so tall and also can climb, and Lantern is jealous.
Also, it's a tight room.
Oh,
Also,
no.
I realize you guys can't see it.
Yeah,
too,
no.
Can you? No, you can't.
No,
Okay.
it's cut off. That room is cut off.
Yeah, I just realized that. Okay. I'll just go ahead and scoot the dungeon back.
Good.
Because I like having props, as I can easily move them.
Right?
Yay. Yeah.
Mysterious grinding noise
Not
once again.
very- Yeah.
Who's next to me?
That would be Dori and Vellos.
Okay.
Go ahead and grab initiative rolls from everyone.
I was
Yep.
asking because I'm putting it. I was saying I was going to say I put Vigilant Blessing on Dori.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
That gives me an additional on my
An
initiative.
advantage.
Oh, okay, cool.
Spicy.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's nice.
I will learn how to spell initiative one of these days.
I've been rolling pretty much about here.
Okay.
That's fairly middle of the road.
Honestly, mostly above average for this group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm about where we want me in the party's initiative order.
Yeah. Not really sure if we want me up front, although I tend to wind up there.
It's fine.
If I had the choice, I would have done Fiona, but the only 2 next to me were you and Vellos. So, of the 2.
All right. 25 to 20.
23
What's your dex?
is hang on. Complete 17.
Okay. Okay, and then 19, 15?
18.
15.
18. Fiona at 15. 14 to 10.
12.
13.
Okay, Bruno at 13, and then Lantern at. And that's everyone, seems like.
Yes.
Seems like.
Excellent.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and start things off with Dori then.
Okay. Dori is. Let's see. If I put the big guy in the center, 30
Yes.
feet gets everybody, all 3 of them.
Which spell?
Spell is hypnotic pattern.
What does that do?
It charms, basically. You create a twisting pattern of colors that weaves through the air inside a 30-foot cube within range. The pattern appears for a moment and vanishes. Each creature in the area who sees the pattern must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature becomes charmed for the duration. While charmed by the spell, the creature is incapacitated and has a spell of 0.
Okay.
And it ends if it takes any damage or somebody else uses the action to shake it out of its stupor. And it lasts
Okay.
for a minute.
Interesting. Don't see that one too often. All right. Let's see here. Just need to check real quick. You said they basically lose their action, have 0 move speed, or do they become? Okay, they are incapacitated. That's something I wanted to know. Okay. All right. Saving throws. What was the spell save?
Spell save is 15.
No. What am I saving with?
Oh, wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, jeez. At a nat 20, big and spidery passes.
Okay.
And then for the 2 large-sized spiders,
Mm-hmm.
pass, fail.
Okay, so one of them's charmed and incapacitated.
Okay.
And that is concentration, so I'll be concentrating for this. And then as my bonus action, I'm going to activate the steward on Fiona.
Okay, that gives me the shield, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that activates
And
the shield
saving
itself?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, cool.
You have, what was it, +2 to your AC as a floating shield encircles you?
Yes.
Yeah, and it also also gives you a +1 to attack rolls as well.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to remember that.
Okay, that's going to take it next to our friend here, who's going to go ahead and, not liking that, they're going to fling a firebolt at you, Dori.
Yeah. Inevitably.
That is going to be, that is a nat 20.
Silvery barbs.
Okay. Silvery barbs. That is going to be a 12 to hit.
12 does not hit.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and take things over to Vellos.
All right. Quick question:
Quick answer.
Is the Drider wearing armor, or just natural armor?
Natural armor.
Okay, just wanted to double check because humanoid torso.
Nope, I get it.
Let's see. Is the charmed spider? No, that's outside of 15 feet from me, I think.
The incapacitated spider is right here.
Yeah, that definitely looks like outside of 15 feet. Okay.
15. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, that would be out. It'd be within range if you targeted the Drider directly.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure if I popped Spirit Guardians, I wouldn't instantly take
okay,
the
so 15 from
Charmed
you.
Spider out of it.
Okay, 15 from you. That's different.
Yeah, don't want to instantly break the Charmed effect if I pop Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
So, that is what I'll do. That is the last of my 3rd level spells. But this is a good one, so I'm gonna pop Spirit Guardians and see if I can get the other spider, the one that's not charmed, in the effect as well by moving up a bit.
5, 10 right here.
Yeah, that'll do nicely.
Okay. And then what's the save on that?
That is a wisdom save.
Okay. That's a fail. Oh, jeez. Okay, they both failed.
For 12 radiant damage as they're being beat up by
nice.
spirits. I love that mental image.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Gonna go ahead and take things over to Fiona.
Okay. Oh, there's this really big, ugly spider lady. Spider-Man. I'm not sure which. In the room here.
Yes.
And Fiona wants to punch it. And slash at it with her sword.
Understandable.
And she's feeling particularly brave now that she has a floating shield hovering around her. So she's going to start with attacking with her short sword.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit it?
16 does not hit.
Okay. She will swing her sword again for 25.
25 will hit.
Damn.
All right. Is that just attack rolls or damage on that guy?
Just attack.
Just attack. Okay, just a hit.
Yep.
Got it. So she does 7 points of piercing damage with that sword.
By the way, it is. Oh no, it is a +1. Okay.
And then she will swing at it with her fist with her bonus action for a punch, but I don't think a 9 is going to hit it.
9 does not hit.
All right. She's getting a feel for it, so she'll go ahead and end her turn here and save her key points for now.
Okay, that brings it to this spider here.
Who takes more damage because it started its turn in the aura.
Yep.
Another wisdom save, please.
What's the saving number?
Alright, it's gotta beat a 15, I
And it
believe.
fails.
Okay. So my 33 3d8. Radiant. Stupid fingers. 11 more points of radiant damage.
Okay. And then
and
it's going to go
half-
ahead and move up to.
It's got half movement speed, by the
I
way.
know, but that's not a big deal. It's just going to move up to right here. Is Spirit Guardian's concentration?
Yes, it is.
I know there's Spirit Guardian, spiritual weapon. I always forget which one's concentration.
Fair. This is the
Okay.
concentration one.
It can't really position over towards Fiona. It's going to go ahead and make an attack on you. Oh god, it's that one. Okay, it just misses. All right, Bruno, your turn.
Alright.
Could you see if I can fairy fire without getting Fiona or Vellos and catch the Drider and the other spider?
Fairy fire. In
Yeah.
this economy,
Only if I can do it without getting my 2 allies.
no, you are hitting Fiona.
All right, I can't move it so that only part of it is in the room.
Not entirely. It's a weird thing with area spells. I mean, you could technically, I guess. But at that point, you're only hitting one thing with it.
I'll take only hitting the Drider.
Hit possibly two.
I will take only hitting
Okay.
the big guy.
Okay.
As long as I hit him, getting the other one is a bonus.
Well, the giant spider is going to fail its save on that, and then the Drider. Dex save is going to go ahead and burn its legendary resistance to pass that.
Pity.
Okay.
All right.
Bonus action.
That's my
movement?
bonus action is activating Twilight Sanctuary.
Okay.
I forgot that was a bonus.
Lantern, your turn.
Movement.
All right, movement. What are you doing?
I'm going to move to where Vellos was. Yeah. That way I'm more in the center of everyone.
Now, Lantern, it's your turn.
It's just me, or
And
is there,
concentration.
is there a roughly 5-foot gap between the Drider and one of those spiders?
There is.
I'd really like to go ahead and do something that I've never done before in my D&D career. And upcast a
my
spell at a higher level because I'm out of level 2 spell slots, but that's no reason I can't light up the moonbeam at level
In
3.
that moonbeam.
I love it. I think it's beautiful, it's special, it makes things shiny, and it kills my guys that I want dead. So I'm going to go ahead and roll damage on that.
Yeah, what's the saves?
It's a Constitution. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Let me double check that. Constitution.
Well, the spider
DC 13.
fails. And then the Drider is going to pass on a 19.
Okay, well, that's 10 points to the Drider and 21 to the spider.
Holy shit. That's a good roll.
Okay.
The Moonbeam
Nice.
is really delicious at level 3.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's D10s. All right. Movement, bonus action.
I'm double checking something really quick. Oh, yeah, so... Okay, I can't actually use that, but I will. No, I don't have a bonus action this turn, but I will one of these turns. So, put that in your pipe and smoke it, I guess. I'll just sort of get into maybe the corner here a little bit more, and that'll be my turn.
All right. That takes things up to Dori.
Okay. I am going to cast, and I have to upcast because I'm out of first level spell slots. I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on the big Drider guy.
Okay.
That
Saving
is
throw on
a
that is
a wisdom save.
that is an 18 on the save. We are
18?
saving left, right, and center today.
All right. Hang on. And of course, I'm using my dagger to do this as the
Of
spell
course.
focus.
Good old spell talent.
Yeah. Okay. So does 11 points of damage and none of the extra stuff.
Okay, 11 points of damage. It's a really good opener.
And then as my bonus action, I'm going to activate the, which one is it? The Scholar ghost that is haunting Lantern.
Okay.
So she will get a +1 to saving throws. And she can cast the Ray of Frost. And any other cantrips that she casts will do an additional 1d6 force damage.
Spicy. All right.
Heck yeah.
We take it then to Big and Arachnid, who has to make a save for Moonbeam.
And for Spirit Guardians.
Well, that's a fail on the Moonbeam. And what was the saving throw on Spirit Guardians?
15.
That's a pass on the Spirit Guardians.
Well, it still takes half of this. Or
So it's going to be
total.
17 damage, 17 radiant damage on the moonbeam.
Ow.
It takes 6 from the Spirit
Got that.
Guardians.
Okay. Right. Well, this is obnoxious. You are all being obnoxious right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna go ahead and 5, 10, 15. Yeah, thereabouts. It's gonna go ahead and reposition over here.
Oh no.
Oh,
As to get
See.
out of the moonbeam.
Hold on. Dang it.
Holding.
People were forgetting about their temp. My bonus action was
Not my
Twilight Sanctuary.
problem.
Nope. That's my fault. I remembered mine
The
and then
only
forgot to remind
person
people.
who went after you was Lantern. Oh no,
And
and Dori.
Dori.
Never mind. Never mind.
Dori.
We've
Oh,
also
well.
got to get. We've also got to get through this battle to get somebody else in. So we're gonna go ahead and make 2 rapier attacks on you, sorry, Fiona.
Okay.
Oh, jeez, that's a miss. There we go. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, and you're going to take 6 damage
All right.
as it stabs you. Then that's its turn. She takes things over to Vellos.
All right. Well, Vellos is going to take a swing at the big spider in front of him.
Okay.
Or
16
16
will
to hit. For another
That's
9.
enough to take it out of the game permanently.
Which... All right. And
Don't forget, until he takes damage, the other spider's out of the game.
yeah, I'm trying to keep away from that one.
Yeah.
And Velos will move to the north of Fiona between her and Bruno. Yeah.
Of course, you would
Uses
want to be
bonus.
positioned.
Yeah, and he'll take a swing at the big one with his tail.
Alright, roll a hit. Maybe it'll work this time, maybe it won't.
Hey, it's been working.
Hesitancy on that.
Damn it, I jinxed it. You made me jinx it!
Good.
Shit.
Fiona,
I
you're
tried
up.
to...
All right. Well, the spider lady guy thing is still within range of Fiona,
Yes.
so she's going to swing her sword at it again.
Swing away. 15 doesn't hit.
I don't think a 15 hits. Second attack.
13
Oh
doesn't
my
hit either.
god. All right. Well, she's going to try to punch it again
Okay.
with her bonus action. 22.
22 will hit.
Yay. For 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
Ow. Kind of crack it on its large abdomen.
Fiona will attempt, since this thing seems to be a lot harder to hit, Fiona will go ahead and use a key point to do, which one was it? Where is it? Let's do a stunning strike.
Okay.
Ooh.
So con saving throw.
And this is attached to the... Is this another attack, or is it part of the attack you already went through?
When you hit another creature with a melee weapon attack.
Alright, just wanted to make sure.
Yes. So I have to actually hit, and then I can choose to do this.
Alright, and what's the saving throw?
It's a con save
Yes.
for 13.
I rolled an 18.
Okay. Then he is not stunned.
As you were not sure where to punch on a giant arachnoid humanoid thing to stun it.
Well, I shock them with my own key at that point. It's not
That's
really
fair.
a punching them in a specific area.
That's
But-
fair. You can't find the pressure
Which is
points.
why she decided to go with that one and not a kidney punch, because she's not even sure if this thing has kidneys.
There's one way to find out. But we're
Well,
going to go
we'll
ahead
wait and
and
see.
bring it over to Bruno. If that's everything for your turn.
Yes.
No, she has one more thing to do.
Oh,
Temp
yes.
HP.
Temp HP.
Yeah, I forgot.
That is.
You still have your stuff, though.
I got
How
one.
much am I rolling again?
Oh, okay, yeah. 1d6 plus 5.
Okay. 9. Excellent. Thank you.
Oh, you got the same amount I did.
Okay.
So Bruno,
You're up.
yeah. Bruno is going to... you know what? I'm going to use... Yeah, I'm going to move... I'm actually going to go back to my original spot and hit him with my mace.
Well, there's no space to move you there, so go ahead and just roll your attack.
Yeah, we'll just assume that that's where I am.
15
For a
doesn't hit.
15 to hit. Does not?
Does not.
Okay. My bonus action, I cast Moment of Resolve.
Okay.
And I will try and redo 10 hit points.
Okay. And while you're doing that, Lantern, you're up.
And got last.
Right.
Alright, so now you're at 7 points.
So I could go ahead and use an action to move Moonbeam.
You could.
Or I could use an action to activate a card.
You could.
And I think I'm going to move over to the other end of the room. Just the opposite corner from where I was would be great, actually.
Over here.
Yeah, that's out of
Lantern,
reach.
before you confirm that, I haven't dropped Fairy Fire, which is in that corner.
Is it in that corner?
Yes.
Okay, I could not tell because it was not marked. I don't want to be in that
Don't-
corner.
Yeah.
It's not like it
If
does
Fairy
any damage.
If Fairy Fire is in that corner, I'm gonna go ahead and not be in it, and change what I'm going to do entirely and move Moonbeam between the two existing enemies as my action instead of what I was going to do.
I mean, it's not like Fairy Fire does any
Oh,
damage,
you
but
don't want it. It's going to do
No, it
damage.
doesn't,
and that
but it
guy's-
would give them...
It would
Oh,
make
then
me a
it
nice,
activates on the guy.
delicious lizard-shaped target for them, and I would prefer
Yeah,
no.
fair enough. Okay, so moving Moonbeam.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
And temp HP is 1d6 plus 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Takes things over to Dori.
Okay. First thing Dory's going to do is she's going to activate the second scholar on herself.
Okay.
And she's going to use her dagger and point at Big Ugly Spider
So this
and
one.
say, no, the big,
Okay.
the Drider. And says, too bad you can't polymorph that horrible personality. Or your face. And cast Vicious Mockery.
Yeah, it fails. Go ahead and roll damage.
I love it.
That was a brutal one.
Which is weird, because the face is one of the least offensive parts of the Drider.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what? Psychic, necrotic, and force damage now?
Yes.
Yep,
Yikes.
13.
Ow. Okay, well, we're not really a fan of that, but we also have to make a con save for Moonbeam. That's going
And,
to be a dirty 20.
Dori's
Oh, and I'm
temp.
going to roll my temp pitch.
Right.
Temp.
Well, we got a dirty
Get back.
20 for the Moonbeam. We've got a 11 for the Spirit Guardians.
Only 7 points of damage from the moonbeam if you passed.
Oh my gosh, I rolled max on the
Nice.
temp HP.
14 from Spirit Guardians.
See, this is why I don't feel bad about giving things high AC.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fiona. But I know there's
That's
things you
alright.
can do about that.
Look, I have been killing so many things everywhere else in the dungeon. If Fiona really only holds aggro for a monster by keeping it in place, then her job is done.
Speaking of which, it's going to try and take a swing at Dori in response to that.
That's also fair.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Fiona did get a kill streak last week.
15?
I did.
15 hits.
Wow. Just barely with disadvantage. 4 damage.
4 damage? Okay.
We're going to try and take and you're going to need to make a concentration check.
That's right. That's just a straight D20?
It's
Oh
a
no,
con
with
save.
whatever if I get a +1. $19.
Okay. And then the next one is a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
And that's going to be a 3. Or, sorry, 4. It has
4. Okay.
4 piercing damage and another concentration check.
Oh, that's right. Okay. An 8.
Okay. Hypnotic pattern goes down.
Okay.
However, Vellos, your turn.
All right. And can Vellos scooch behind it and flank the big guy with Fiona?
Can. Why you want to do that is enraging to me, but yes, you can.
Yeah.
Why is that? Okay. I
I will happily have flanking with you, Vellos. Always.
No problem.
Now roll your
And
attacks.
for a
19 hits.
19 to hit. For 12
Ouch.
points of damage total. Good smack.
And then your next attack. Yeah,
Dirty
that'll also
20.
hit. Your tail finally connects with something.
Hey, it was doing good last week.
Your tail finally connects with something.
Ah. For another 5.
Okay. That is enough to bring it down into a large heap on the ground.
I killed something with my tail.
Which
Yay.
brings us over to this guy who now has to make 11 billion saves. Moonbeam. Failed. Spirit Guardians. Passed.
Only 9 damage on that moonbeam.
It'll take 6 from Spirit Guardians.
Okay, it's gonna go ahead and you're close, so we're just gonna move up and try and bite you. Miss. Fiona, your turn.
Fiona looks at where that spider is. Looks at the radiant light shimmering around it.
It was supposed to be right there, but this way. Dried her body was kind of covering it.
Decides she doesn't want to go up to that spider, because there's not really a way to get to it where she doesn't also get herself zapped, correct?
You could move around from behind. Knowing
Okay.
the angling of Moonbeam. If you want to get into melee.
Yeah, if there's a way to get into melee with it without getting zapped with my
25,
40 feet of movement.
There you go. Because it's a large-sized creature. You can hit it from this tile.
Alright. Am I flanking with Vellos?
Yes, technically speaking.
Okay.
The dragon and rat double team.
You drop lowest one. She's gonna swing at it with her sword first. For a 26.
25 hits, or 26 hits.
Where were you on the Drider?
Hiding.
Clearly! 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
She will swing it at it again with her second attack.
As you stand on coin-covered ground.
For 17?
hits.
Alright.
The low rolls on those were 2 nat ones.
Right? For a 9? Or for 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then she will punch it! For a nat 20.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Roll well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Average. For 9 more points of bludgeoning damage.
Bruno, your turn.
Bruno is
And
going
HP?
to.
I
Yeah.
don't want to replace the 9
Oh.
I've got.
Okay.
Bruno's going to drop Fairy Fire. And he's going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay. Next save.
Yep.
You
This
failed. I
spider's
rolled a
just
1.
getting
You failed.
bullied.
Oh God. So 2d8 radiant. Crap.
I've been considering whether people want to see that implemented or not, but I've been considering making 1s on a saving throw
7.
the equivalent of a crit. Now, mind you, you guys would also suffer that.
Hey,
No, please.
No.
No, I'm
in
good.
the game that I'm running with him,
That's what you're doing.
we're on the DM. We did do that. He rolled a nat 1 on a lightning bolt.
Ouch.
Yes,
Yeah.
his character went down.
Maybe I won't do that. That's a lot of damage that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was considering it.
From full health
Yeah.
to 0 in one go. Not fun.
Okay. Yeah.
At level like 4 or 5.
Alright, that's a bit much then. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know somebody else suffered for me first. Alright, Lantern, you're up.
My pleasure.
I am going to do 10 hit points again. I can barely go lower.
Lantern.
I'm thinking that now is the time to use my action to activate that card I have.
Okay.
And as my bonus action, I am going to shoot it at a target within 120 feet. Please
Well,
make
you
a
have-
dexterity saving throw.
You have 5 targets. What are you throwing at?
I'm throwing at the spider
Okay.
because
What's
I
the
would
save
like
on that?
dead bodies. It's a dex save.
Total. The number.
Oh, 13.
13. Is this one? I rolled a 14.
Aw, that blows.
No, this is a pass or fail.
Okay, that's a pass or fail.
Unfortunate.
Well, that was my action and my bonus action, so that's me.
Dori, you're up.
Okay. Dori looks at him, points at him, and says, "The only risk you pose is if I injure myself rolling my eyes too hard." Vicious
Rude.
mockery
It also fails.
fails. Okay, so it is.
I want to see how much damage you do, but there's no way you can't roll below its remaining health.
Thor is just going to make everything depressed at least once by the end of this.
It's fun.
She's going to do her,
Okay.
her damn
And
best to do so.
That takes it out. Like I said, there's no way you can't roll below that because it had 2 health left.
yeah.
Okay, absolutely overkilling a spider aside. It is now you and the treasure hoard.
Yay.
I think we should look into this whole hoard of treasure that's here, personally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Vellos just salutes his spirits before releasing them.
You
Lantern imitates this salute before dismissing Moonbeam.
You see Vellos kind of drooling as he looks over the gold and silvers and coppers as you take a few moments to realize you should probably go collect this chest and start throwing the gold in there.
Yeah,
That-
that's a good idea.
Such a
Oh
logical
yeah.
idea. Yes.
Make it a lot easier to carry all this.
Yep.
Is there anything other than gold in here?
Just the gold, but it totals to around 5,000 pieces, which you sit here deep in the pits of your souls knowing that's going to vanish fast.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
We've got a total of 5,400.
Yes. Yeah. The chest is kind of overfilling, but you make do.
Yeah.
As you leave the dungeon behind and back to your wagon.
Lantern is excitedly talking about cooking spider hot pot for dinner, so whether you decide to get adventurous or eat your rations for dinner is all on you.
Dori will at least try the spider hot pot.
Go ahead and give me a... Well, hang on.
Hello, Vellos.
It's still kind of midday, so...
Well, then it's a lunch, not a dinner, but I'm
Go
still
ahead and give
cooking
me
it for her.
Go ahead and give me a cooking roll as everybody gets everything else situated, Lantern.
All right, and that is... That is presumably dexterity plus proficiency. Okay.
Yes. Since this is something your upbringing would have you familiar with, it would be an intelligence roll if it was a new recipe to you. If that makes sense.
Dirty 20.
Y'all are having spider legs cooked not unlike crab legs.
Alright.
It mostly would smell like salt and cooking meat and broth and onion.
Bad? Not bad at all.
And she does plate it appealingly in the manner that you might plate crab legs. It's not like a gross hairy leg sticking out of something. It is meat that has been processed and then steamed.
Which you'll be pleased to know that these spiders weren't exactly the hairy variety to begin with.
A good thing.
Even if they were, once you get the chitin off of them, it's all the same underneath.
Basically.
It's just like people.
They look and almost taste like crab legs.
Vellos, it's uncanny valley in terms of taste for you.
That is bizarre. I never thought I'd be tasting something like this so far from the ocean.
Ooh, do ocean crabs taste like this? I've only had cave crabs, and they don't taste quite the same.
Sweeter, I would say. But it's eerie how similar they are.
Okay.
Lantern nods fascinatedly, and you see her jot a note down in her personal journal, underlining it 3 times in Draconic that says, "Try ocean crab meat."
Alright, and you guys get your hyenas all yoked up back to the wagon.
They also, the hyenas get pretty much any of the spider meat that we didn't eat. Which is probably about half of the spider meat that we had.
Probably. And you guys proceed to make your way along the road, headed back to Mansque.
Yep.
Well, while we're traveling, those might as well make another set of lockpicks for Lantern.
Which will take about an hour. In that
Yep.
hour, what's everyone else doing? Knowing that Lantern is driving the cart or the wagon.
While we're traveling, Dori is going to go around to everybody and ask for their favorite song.
Yeah, let's burn up 3 of the short swords. It's technically a waste, but
You get the impression, Dori, that you are the main source for Lantern knowing about music, because her favorite song is that one you do with the little bit of the lute in it that goes a doodly 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 doo.
Dori gives her a big smile and says, "Thank you."
Okay.
You get from a
She'll note it
Fiona
down.
a very rough and tumble and mildly suggestive tavern song.
Okay.
Ah. Dory's
Dori will
fan of
grin at
elegance
you.
bards. Or not Dory, Fiona.
Bruno?
I'm happy with whatever's on usually.
I'm not asking listen to. I'm asking what's your favorite.
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, so
Vellos will be unable to answer for an hour.
with an
Yeah,
hour
she'll catch
traveling,
you when you're done.
something quickly catches your eye, Lantern. It looks to be on the road. It looks at first to be another Delver wagon when you realize quickly that it has been upturned and looks to be the sign of a battle.
Is there battle noises?
No.
Lantern alerts you guys with, "Whoa, something bad happened there."
Oh
Here.
shit!
Oh boy.
As
Fiona will rush up onto the roof to see if she can get a view of what Lantern is saying.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right.
Vellos seems deeply confused as he comes out of the
17.
17. Well enough, you see that the wagon, well, had definitely been a Delver wagon at some point, is a wrecked mess. Splintered wood, spatterings of blood everywhere, and more alarming and familiar, and starting to become somewhat familiar to you, is the ground around the wagon has been dug up and dug into, with disruptions around the soil.
Oh no.
Lantern is going to pull the cart aside once we're a little bit closer so we can see if there are maybe survivors or indication of where same may have been dragged.
Okay. As you're pulling up
Dori.
to the... What was that?
I was going to say Dori is standing next to the rail gun ready to go.
Okay. Check something with Bruno here real quick. Bruno, you are a desert fox, yes?
Yes.
Alright, and you check your racial ability real quick. Okay. Only if you're not moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lantern does pull to a stop.
Okay, pulling to a stop side to the wagon, you are... This is looking like a relatively recent scene of an engagement, but you aren't seeing any signs of whatever attacked them, and things are starting to dry.
Okay, I'm going to maybe using my survivalist nature skills of survival. I'm going to see if I can figure out where. Again, I'm looking to see if following the blood stains, if I can find remains or survivors. Ideally, survivors, but
Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Oof, not so good. That's a 13.
13. You're not seeing any drag marks along the ground anywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna check out any of those holes.
They're half collapsed. I'll tell you right now, they are half collapsed tunnels. You
Okay.
are going to be able to work your way through them, but even on a 13 check, it becomes clear that things have been dragged underground.
Lantern is going to use mold earth.
You're not finding anything with mold earth.
Okay, it's probably 9 or 10 turns worth of mold earth before Lantern's head pokes up out of
You're
the.
doing that because that's going to be a solid minute of casting.
Yeah,
What's everyone
it's
else
gonna be
doing?
it's gonna be at least a minute or 3.
Fiona is going. Oh, you can go, Vellos.
And Vellos will take to the sky, see if he can see more disturbances in the earth with the bird's eye view.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. That's a nope with a 5.
That one, you're not seeing anything.
You're seeing trees.
You see dirt, you see the river near the road, you see...
Like he just got out of the religious trance from making lockpicks.
You just got out of a trance and you're in full red alert. Somehow your eyes are still adjusting from being underground all day long.
Fiona is going to check the upturned wagon.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
All right.
As you're sifting around through the remains.
Yeah, make sure there's nobody trapped underneath or anything like that. That's a 6.
You're not finding anybody trapped under the wagon, but you are finding that there's quite clearly a few crates and chests, some of which look like they've been busted open, others not so much.
Are they like under the wagon or off to the side of the wagon?
Some under the wagon, others scattered.
Well, since she's investigating, I guess she'll start popping open some of the crates and chests just to make sure.
Okay. Bruno?
Bruno is basically just keeping an eye out in case anything comes back.
Okay.
Dori's
go ahead and give me
manning
a
the
perception check,
railgun.
Bruno.
Okay, give me a second. Here we go. 8.
8. Okay. You're not seeing anything in the surrounding area. What were you saying, Dori?
Dori is standing by the railgun ready to go. She actually has a bolt ready to load. She also has her crossbow next to her. And she is keeping an eye on her companions.
Go ahead and
To
give
make
me
sure.
a perception check.
And Dori cannot be surprised.
Okay, but you're not seeing anything either aside from your companions. You've kind of lost track of
Oh.
Fiona, but she is sifting through the. Oh,
I get
I
a
was looking at
15
Bruno's.
perception.
Never
Yeah,
mind.
I get a 15 perception.
Yes, I was looking at Bruno's. You have lost track of Fiona, but you know she was sifting through the wreckage of the wagon. So
You saw Lantern go underground a couple minutes ago, too, probably.
Yeah.
And then what you are also noting is you are seeing some disturbances in the soil heading towards the kind of stream off the side of the road. Now, these aren't active movements. This is like something had just been under the surface moving in that direction.
Yeah. Dori will call out to everybody, hey guys, it looks like they're heading to the river.
Now, mind you, this is old path, so.
Yeah. Or they went to the river. I don't know which, but keep your eyes open and stay alert.
It's roughly here that Lantern's head comes up out of the disturbed loam, and she says, I think some guys got dragged underground, but not in a way that's easy to follow.
Dori will point to what she saw with the tracks leading towards the river. I think they went that way.
Lantern salutes and is going to check it out.
Fiona will climb out of the wreckage and follow after you.
Before you do that, Fiona.
Yeah?
1 second.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, make sure I got a headset, so just making sure it works.
It does.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna knock. Is someone there?
You hear a knocking from a chest.
Oh,
Fiona
dear.
will stop following after Lantern and turn right back around to what she was doing. Yeah. Is there somebody in there?
Yeah. Is there somebody out there?
Yes, someone who is not a weird amalgamation of insect and creature.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna open the chest a little bit, peek out, and be like, hello.
Hi. You okay?
Is he where I can see him? Is this someplace I can see, or is this happening?
It's
Out of
kind of
sight.
within the wreckage of the wagon. You're not able to quite see what's going on.
Okay.
Fiona will hold up a finger to the guy opening the chest and yell out, "Hey! I found someone!
Oh,
Alive!"
Yes, I'm
Yay!
very much alive. Open this. I'm gonna stand up and be like, hi. You guys aren't the ones that attacked me.
No
no, we just got here.
spider
Yeah, no.
chickens.
No,
Dori-
it was some weird creature.
Nobody. That's what we call them. It's not necessarily their name.
Do they taste good?
From what our chef says, no. They taste like beetles, not chicken.
All right. Well, as you can see, I was attacked and I hid inside of a chest.
Were you the only one on this wagon?
No, there was 4 others.
Oh dear.
And I'm gonna
Yep.
look around and I guess they are not here anymore.
Yeah, you look around you, and your surroundings are a wreck.
Oh, goody.
Dori, or Fiona, as the person climbing out of the chest, is... He's a bat, but he's on the smaller end of the height scale. He's taller than you still, but...
Well, it's very hard to be shorter than Fiona.
Lantern pulls it off, though.
She
Yeah.
does, but that is because Lantern is a kobold.
Also,
Fiona is
she's
on the
always
shorter end
moving.
of the rat spectrum.
Lantern is always moving so quickly that it's kind of hard to discern how tall she actually is unless you can get her to stay still.
Everyone else, except for, I want to say, Dori and maybe Lantern, you do hear the conversation between Fiona and this new person.
Lantern is still running towards the river, so she doesn't hear any of this.
Honestly, Vellos is tracking Lantern, making sure she doesn't get in trouble.
I think, Bruno, you'd probably be the only other one aware of this conversation from where you're standing.
Yeah.
Until Fiona makes her call out.
Yeah, I'm a bat,
I
male,
am
4'7", thin, green eyes, and black hair.
Oh wow, I think you're taller than Bruno.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
We're
No,
a
you're
short
good.
party.
Yeah,
Well,
Bruno's
before
only
you
4'1".
stands a rather short rat at only 3'5", white fur, gray eyes.
Ooh.
Other than the sword on her waist, she isn't really wearing any armor other than her clothes. But
Oh.
lots of scars. All already from all the fights she's been in, apparently.
Cool.
Hi, my name is Fiona. I'm part of a delving group.
So was I, apparently. The keyword
we
was.
Yeah, you're the only one we've found so far. There's a lot of blood, and from what we know of the creatures that attacked you, from the signs we're seeing, they probably dragged the rest of your team underground.
Oh, goody.
Here, let's get out of... Let's get you out of this wreckage. Come on. And Fiona will start to lead the bat out of the wreckage.
Okay. I'm gonna follow her.
Very nonplussed. Or maybe it's the shock.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So Fiona leads this bat gentleman out of his wreckage.
Okay.
You
Once
doing
he
okay?
can
Do you have
see
a
him.
name?
Yes, my name is Grigori.
All right. It's good to meet you, Grigori. My name's Fiona. Don't mind the hyenas. They are our draft animals.
As your attention is directed to a pair of horse-sized hyenas, maybe a little bit
They
bigger.
are. I should note the hyenas are decorated. I will send picture.
Okay.
You'll see a rabbit, about 5'10", light gray fur,
Ooh.
all ears, of course. Who is manning a railbow on the wagon and has a crossbow in her hand, ready to go. Hey, Fiona, how you doing?
Good. I found this gentleman. His name's apparently Grigori. Grigori.
Grigori.
Grigori.
Hi, Grigori. Nice to meet
Hi.
you.
Thank you for saving me.
It's our pleasure. Lantern and Vellos are looking for the rest of your party to see if we can't find them.
Okay. Are they friends of yours?
Yeah, they're
yes.
the rest of our group. Well, they're
Oh.
part
Other
of the
than-
rest of our group.
Yeah.
Part of your
Vellos
your
is the
guild?
dragon who's in the air up there, and Fiona will
Yeah.
point to the sky.
I'm gonna look in the sky.
You probably see a silver shape flying above the river some distance away. Not sure how easy it is to
It's a little more
to make
difficult to
anything
spot,
out from distance.
simply because you're kind of the color of the clouds and having to look up.
It's probably good for Vellos' sake that Lantern is very brightly colored. Because she is a druid and she is running through nature. And she would be pert near fucking invisible if he didn't know what he was looking for and if she wasn't bright red.
Yes.
Yep.
Lantern, who is with him, probably on the ground. So I don't think she would object to being carried through the air by Vellos in particular.
Yes, I think that would be her.
She's a kobold and she's a little shorter than I am. If when they come back, you can meet both of them. Where's Bruno?
Right over here.
Oh, and Fiona will go look over to where Bruno's voice came from. And
Okay,
that's
how
the
you
final
doing?
member of our group.
Where you see a 4'1" desert fox in chainmail.
Cool.
Hello.
Hi. Did you guys just pass by here?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were on our way back
on
to
our way
town.
back to Mansque, and
Oh, thank God.
we saw your wagon.
Oh, okay. I was just about to go that way too, but then I was attacked by some four-legged creature thingies.
Six-legged.
Six-legged creature things.
You would recall from the fight they had burst from the ground. A group of them had grabbed your horses, and the rest of your team was being quickly overwhelmed in numbers.
Yeah, this is my first delve, so I kind of hid.
Oh dear.
That's got to be a terrifying way to be introduced to things.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it was at least our second dungeon before we met them.
And even then,
These
we
guys.
didn't fight those things. We just found a dead one.
Yeah, that's right.
My grandfather told me about expect the unexpected, but this was totally unexpected. That's why I hid it.
One way to stay alive.
Lantern?
Yeah.
Real quick. Lantern, since you're the one who's kind of rushing the river, I assume trying to follow the path they left, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Can do. 1 sec. Yeah, that's going to be a 9.
Yeah, from where you are, by the time you get up to the river, you see where they may have leapt out from the soil, but you see a few small disturbances on the other side of the riverbank, though you can only surmise that the rushing water had fully collapsed whatever tunnels they left behind, leaving a path that just can't be followed. Or not leaving a path at all, I should say.
She's going to do her due diligence and scrabble around in quite a bit of mud and come back a brown kobold instead of a red kobold, but to ultimately no effect.
Vellos will dip down to get a better look at what she's doing. Oh, damn. Looks like the trail went cold.
I think they used the river to flood it out on purpose, but if not, then the river flooded it out accidentally.
Well, shit. We should probably head back then. Don't want to get too far from the
I don't
group.
think at this point we're going to find anything other than bones.
Probably not. Those things are ravenous, from what I remember.
And they're way too fast to not have already,
Yeah.
eaten probably everyone on that caravan.
Yeah, let's head back. Give the rest of the group the bad news. Who knows, maybe they found a survivor or something.
Lantern wipes her hands
Whatever.
on her robes, which are also covered in mud, so it doesn't do anything, and gravely nodding follows Vellos back.
You are going to need a lot of prestidigitations, aren't you?
Or a really good bucket of water, yes.
Oh well.
All right, well, I'm assuming when you guys come back, you see Bruno, Dori, and Fiona all talking to a black bat.
Oh, you found a different guy who didn't get eaten by a spider chicken. I mean, hello!
Oh,
Spider.
hello there.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah, they don't
Hi.
taste anything like spiders or chickens, though.
I take it you tried.
She shakes her head. I'm gonna find out how to cook them one day, but not today. I'm Lantern. Who are you?
I am Grigori. That they took away my delving party.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
no.
I'll
tried
call
to follow their
them,
trail, but it ran cold.
no sticks.
I'm Vellos, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Vellos.
I'm
My
pretty
name is
sure-
Dori.
I'm pretty sure that you couldn't have had a better two party members to be standing right next to each other, because for perspective, the muddy little entity that you see before you is roughly 3 feet tall, but it's hard to tell because she keeps going up on her tiptoes. She is wearing clothing that is completely indistinguishable because it is absolute solid river mud. But she has a look of great friendliness and excitement on her face as she runs up to Dori to beg for prestidigitation.
And Dori will put down her crossbow and start prestidigiting all over the place.
Meanwhile, next to the little bundle of muddy energy, you have this 6'8" giant dragon with wings almost as big as he is, sprouting from his back, covered in heavy metal armor, painted bronze, with one pauldron emblazoned with bull's horns, and the shield that is on his arm has an anvil and a dragon's head embossed on it.
Once she has been demuddied, Lantern disappears, and shortly from behind the wagon you have presumably been led to, you smell fire and then slowly coffee. And surprisingly small amount of time after starting, you see a much cleaner little red kobold wearing brown robes hands you a metal cup of coffee.
Never had this before. I'll try it. Thank you.
You're welcome. It makes you very energetic.
Okay, I'm gonna take a sip.
If it makes you too energetic, let me know and I can give you a whole bunch of sugar to put in it.
The coffee is a earthy, bitter, dark fluid.
That sounds tasty. I would like some sugar, please.
Bruno only lets me have a little of it.
With
She
decent reasoning.
She offers you a couple of scoops of something that I will say does smell incredibly sugary, but also slightly alcoholic. Because it was made using mead.
Okay, I'm gonna take another sip.
Well, if you take a sip of the substance she offers you, it is the sweetest fucking thing you've ever put in your entire goddamn mouth. If you put it in your coffee, it makes your coffee significantly sweeter. But basically what it is a reduction of mead.
Okay, I'm gonna put a couple scoops into my coffee, then take a sip of the coffee.
It is now much sweeter.
Not quite as bitter. Maybe still a little earthy.
It also, just gonna tell you, it's a good thing we're in a world that doesn't have you take a breathalyzer test because you would not be blowing clean on that anymore.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I would say that since we found Grigori here, we can't find anyone else. We try to find some of his stuff, and we offer him a ride back to town.
That's logical to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
sounds all right.
he's
Sounds
definitely
like a good
going to
idea.
need to report what happened to the guards.
Yeah.
Well,
Is this a situation that a kobold faced with it might use her second, third level spell slot to cast Enlarge on somebody to help sort through the debris?
Up to you.
Because I think that's what Lantern is going to immediately offer, and if nobody else is interested, she is happy to cast it on herself and sift through debris.
Vellos seems mildly curious.
Dori will turn down the offer.
Sure, it'll make sorting through this easier.
Lantern actually literally jumps in the air from sheer delight and clicks her heels with excitement at the prospect of casting Enlarge/Reduce in Enlarge mode on Vellos.
Okay, so for
Dragon gets
context, the effects of Enlarge, your height is doubled, your weight is quadrupled. Because that's how mass works. As a notable,
We now have a 12-foot dragon.
Vellos, you are considered large size, and because you are a biped, you do feel yourself kind of sink into the ground a little bit.
About 13 and change feet, actually.
Fair enough. I will
However,
be right back.
we'll take a break in just a moment. So,
Okay.
however, Vellos, you are able to. This makes lifting up the wagon debris and moving them around a relatively simple task, in so much you're able to move the wall, what's left of the walls, and the ceiling just kind of off to the side, leaving the leaving the chests, crates, and footlockers left.
This is a really handy spell, Lantern.
Anything that could be considered consumable is missing.
No surprise there.
All that's left is a few chests containing personal effects.
I'll
Of
also
both,
gently pick those out and place them in front of the group.
of both Grigori's and his ex-team.
I did have a light crossbow.
You did have you have one with you, or you're looking for one?
I'm looking for one.
Well, I think I just found it in one of those boxes that Vellos had. So,
Oh, goody.
Lantern dusts off a light crossbow and hands it to you.
Awesome. I'll take it.
Okay, so real quick, since we're running till office standard time for introducing Grigori here, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break here, and then we'll
Okay.
get back into the action.
Okay.
So get your food, get your drinks. Use the restroom.
Okay.
I'll see you all in 10:15.
Cool.
Sounds good.
See you in
See
a
you in
bit.
a few.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Drinks refreshed, food acquired.
Yes.
Players as ready to go as the party.
Yay.
Okay. As everybody introduces each other to the unfortunate Grigori, who's had quite a wild introduction to the world at large.
Dori will ask the others. Do you think we should try to go after the attackers, or do we just think they've gotten too far away from us and we just can't catch up to them?
As
The
far as
trail
we-
was sort of lost because either they intentionally destroyed it with a river or a river accidentally destroyed it. And I tried really hard to get through those tunnels, which is how I got very covered in mud. But I could not get very far because it turns out that mold earth doesn't like deep, wet mud very much, and I couldn't move that much with it.
Okay. Okay, I was just yeah. Okay.
And Vellos whispers to Dori, considering how fast and how
Your mic
much
is far
this-
away there, Bellos.
God damn it. Had the mic boom up again.
God damn it.
Anyway. Considering how much and how quickly these things eat, I don't see much hope. I'm all for going after them, but with the trail dead,
Yeah, the trail dead. That's
Lantern
I hate to say it.
tactfully, in order to not upset Grigori with this terrible revelation, leans in close to Dori to whisper, and the horses are definitely dead. You can't pull a horse through a tunnel and have the horse come out still horsing, right?
no.
That's true. That is true. Okay.
Okay.
If that's the case, Dori will start stowing everything back so we don't have a loose crossbow and crossbow bolts flying all over the place.
Lantern cleans up from where she made coffee, gets the hyenas settled back into their positions and ready to rock. And once we all look like we're ready to go, she starts driving the cart.
Okay. It is otherwise a quiet trip back to Mansque.
Dori, you might notice our cart's bigger on the inside.
Something that, as a delver, you came to anticipate.
And something as a bat, I think he's already kind of familiar with.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's true.
Fiona doesn't really know much about bats.
This might be Vellos' first time seeing one.
For
Honestly,
most of you, this is
seems-
probably your first time seeing a bat.
No, we saw that guy at the jewelry shop.
All right.
I was
yeah,
going to
Right.
say,
there.
we've been a
I forgot
Yeah.
Pierre was a bat. Right.
Lantern does keep asking questions back into the cart along the lines of, your wings are on your arms, but Velos's are a completely different thing, and that seems like it's more convenient for flying. Are you good at flying?
No, I'm more good at gliding than flying.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Quick examination,
However-
you'd see Grigori's wings, Vellos, are like a quarter the size of yours.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, 2 feet shorter and everything else. Yeah.
Okay, as
Fiona is going to make a mock-up of the area where Grigori's cart was attacked so that they can turn that information over to the guards when they get back to town.
go ahead and give me a cartography roll. So yeah, what you do.
All right.
Oh, right. Lantern. Finished your lockpicks.
Oh, that is very exciting. Please put it by my barrel of mead so I can get it when I am not driving a cart.
Okay.
Dori will, when Vellos isn't otherwise occupied, will ask him what his favorite song or songs are.
14.
Good enough. You're able to make a decent enough rough map
Cool.
with a distance
give
from
them an
Mansque
idea.
along the road.
It's important information to pass along.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Speaking of, as you do approach, as you approach Mansque's outer walls, you are approached by a guard, kind of flagging you down.
Lantern waves eagerly back at the guard and sort of brings the cart into a parked position.
You're the Delver crew that the dungeon rollers, right? Are you guys just
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
back?
Yes, we are the dungeon rollers, and we are just getting back.
Excellent. You just cleared out that dungeon along the trade road, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally. That's great. I'll go ahead and start letting traders know as they come and go that road's safe to go along again.
Oh,
About that.
What now?
We came across an upturned, destroyed Delver cart on our way back.
What happened?
It was apparently besieged by those new bladeling creatures.
He gives you something of a look of, this is above my pay grade.
Yeah. Fiona will hand over the rough map she
He
made.
kind of waves
Here's
his hand back. Go speak with the guard captain. go speak with the captain. She'll want to know this. So
Got it.
Okay.
yeah,
Fiona will nod her
as he
head.
kind of points. He gives directions to a fairly close by structure that's part of the wall. It's a proper guardhouse rather than a guard shack or barracks.
Lantern is going to maybe find a place to park the cart
Which
and let the people who are good at explaining things to people.
easy enough.
Like, she'll drop you off. She'll drop you off and then go park the cart.
Dori
Fiona will
will-
get off the cart simply because she has the map that she made, but she will leave the talking to other people.
Well,
Dori
so
figures she's
disembark.
probably other people.
What's the matter, Fiona? You don't want to talk to others?
She has had bad experiences in stores. She has found that most people do not appreciate her bluntness.
I'm sure it's fine. Who else is going with? Okay, Dori is going with Fiona. Who else is going with?
Vellos is coming.
Oh, Bruno.
Grigori, you should probably come with us.
Yeah, they're probably gonna want your account.
Yeah. Grigori,
Sorry.
you should probably come with us. They're going to want to hear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll go with you.
Okay. So as you approach the guardhouse and give a knock on the door,
Yep, if no one does that, Fiona will happily knock on the door.
after a
It's a loud,
moment,
echoing knock.
a slat in the middle of the door kind of opens up as someone looks down at the group before it
Right.
closes and the door opens, and a fully dressed guard looks down at you all and says, "Can I help you guys with anything?"
Yeah, we were told to come talk to the guard captain about an attack on a Delver wagon on the trade route
Okay,
out of
yes.
Mansque.
Yeah, she'll definitely want to hear about that. Come in.
Yeah. Okay. And she'll
As he
lead the way in.
As he opens the door all the way to let you guys into. It's a comfortably furnished room. Looks to be a You really get the feeling of a waiting room, but it seems like the only people waiting here are a couple of guards. As you are directed down a hall to an office.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yep. Walk down the hall.
Okay.
Yep. Walk down to the office.
Before you guys ask, gotta figure out where I put my note for the guard's name.
Because you know we're going to ask for it.
No, I know you are. Okay. So as you knock on the door to the captain's office, there's a short pause before an authoritative female voice can be heard barking out, "Come in."
Dori will open the door and lead the way in.
Inside is an older-looking wolfess wearing a chain shirt and a tabard of Mansque. On top of her desk is a map, several paperworks, and a name plaque reading Adelaide Chastain.
Adelaide?
Yeah, Adelaide. Adele.
Oh, Adelaide.
Yes.
Okay, Adelaide. What's the last name?
Chastain.
Chastain. Okay.
Yep. Reading Captain Adelaide Chastain.
Dori will walk
You
up.
guys, I've seen you guys a couple of times now already. You've been a bit of a help with a few. Well, with that one glass issue in the city. Is there anything I can do you guys for?
Well, we went up to clear out one dungeon on the trade route. It was interfering with the trade caravan.
Yeah, no, the one that opened up in the middle of the trade route had making giant spiders attack traders.
Yeah, that was fun. We've actually cleaned that out. However, on our way back, we came across an overturned, attacked Delver wagon.
This gets her to pause as she pulls out. She actually pulls out a quill and a sheaf of paper to begin writing. Okay, an attacked, overturned Delver wagon. That's unusual. What was the signs of the attackers?
Yeah,
You can go.
Okay. We saw signs of disturbed earth and just the way the attack went and all. We suspect it is to the creatures that most people seem to be calling bladelings.
Well, you're the one who seemed to have directed that name to general scholars. So,
No,
good as suiting a name as any.
Yeah. At any rate, all but one of the members of the crew are gone, taken by the attackers.
We tried to follow
they were
the
gone before we got there. Yeah, they were there before we.
We tried to follow the trail, but it went cold.
Grigori here is the only. Yeah, trail had gone cold by the time we got there. And
okay, so you did not see the attack, but you have a survivor.
Yes.
Yes.
And Dori will indicate Grigori.
I also made up a rough map of the location on where it happened. Fiona will offer and holding up for parchment.
She'll place it on my desk right here as she points the quill over the group. And which of you was the...
And Dori will indicate Grigori. Here is...
That was me.
Okay, good. Can you give me your account on what happened?
Sure. We left the town. We were going down the road. I was talking to the fox, going over tactics and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, the ground started shaking, and then something came out of the ground, attacked the horses, dragged them on the ground. The guard, not really guard, but the guy that was out there on the road, he got immediately dragged in the ground. And then the cart tipped over. From what I recall, I ran out to see what was going on. There was a bunch of spider-looking things. People were getting dragged off. Mud was getting kicked everywhere. Dirt was getting kicked everywhere. And I panicked, and I ran into a chest and hid.
And she's writing this down as you speak. She's nodding as she listens. I'm terribly sorry for the loss of your friends. Do not feel bad about your action. Do not feel bad about your decision to hide away instead of trying to engage. It sounds like you were ambushed and quickly overwhelmed. I would not fault you at all for those actions.
That's good. It is my first delve, so...
Do you know where you were headed for your first delve? Because it sounds like in that case there's still a dungeon out there that's going to be an issue.
As a name? Oh, shit.
General location, usually.
Yeah, in this case,
The
we
Yeah.
dungeons themselves don't really have names.
Or a basic description.
if you, the player, can't think of anything, that's fine. I would just fill in some info as the DM.
Oh shit! I cannot recall what was said.
Okay, that's. We'll ask. I'll have a few men ask around some of the local scouts, see if they can't figure out which scout you had gotten your delve from, and make that probably the Dungeon Brigade's issue. Okay, let's see here. Your group was attacked, overwhelmed. You were the only survivor.
Fiona
The rest
has-
were dragged off.
Fiona has placed her map on the table where it was indicated that she should.
She takes the map and looks over it before giving a light grimace. That's an hour outside of Mansque. Okay, She stands up after she finishes writing while taking the map in her hands. Thank you for letting me know. I'll see about getting the Mage Guards patrols along the roads between Starcrest and Mansque and some of the other outlying villages increased. I'll also let the Scoutmaster of the Dungeon Brigade here be aware of what's going on.
Yes. These creatures are extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we've heard reports from other Delvers.
They learn.
Yeah, that's kind of what
Yes.
concerns me.
Yeah.
And they have what appears to be a queen. Which is even
Some
scarier.
intelligence guiding them.
Right now,
Mhm.
for you guys, you're dismissed. Feel free to sheath things for a moment before pulling to
Yep.
a desk and pulling out a few wooden chips that have been carefully stylized and handing them over. Get yourself some free drinks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the bars and
Take her
taverns in the
chip.
city will accept these chips. They're usually compensation for the guards, but your friend here, she gestures to Grigori, looks like he could probably use a strong drink.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget to return back to your scout and pay your dues.
Yep.
Of course.
We always do.
I know, I just don't want to have
We're
to send the
honest
taxman
Delvers.
after anyone.
We're
I have
honest
no
Delvers.
intention of becoming that kind of delver.
No. Nope.
Usually it's new groups, but this is just more a case of, after all the excitement you guys have clearly gone through. Just a polite reminder.
Yeah. Well, sorry to
is-
deliver more problems onto your lap.
Yes.
No. This is my fault for wanting something more interesting than the drunken brawls for the last few weeks. Me and my big mouth.
As they say, sometimes the worst curse is a wish for excitement.
Exactly. Well, as stated, you're all dismissed. I have to go.
Thank you.
And
Gee.
Fiona
They
will
all
take
made-
that dismissal and happily leave.
May
As you-
Albade's light shine on you and your guards, Captain.
We'll need his blood fury if things go any further than they already are. And with that, as you all leave, she sticks her head out of her office and shouts out, "Lieutenants! In here now!" Causing the 4 guards who have just kind of been lounging about to jump to attention as if they've had spikes rammed into their heels or to their paw pads and quickly make their way into the captain's office.
We just made everybody's lives more interesting.
I see what
That's
we wanted
one
to
word
do.
for it.
I assume you're all quick stepping out before you earn some disliking views from the lieutenants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Not getting in between that.
Nope.
By the time you get back to the wagon, Lantern has almost definitely sorted stuff into two piles between stuff we got from Grigori's caravan and stuff we got from the dungeon. So we know how much we gotta pay, basically.
Alright.
Grigori's items seem to largely be personal effects from him and the rest of his crew.
Yeah, but we still want to keep it separate, you know?
Yes.
Alright. Let's.
Okay. Now let's go
We should probably
talk
check
to
in.
our scout,
Yeah.
pay him off, and then go get everybody a good stiff drink and dinner.
Yes,
And
that
figure
sounds
out
like
what our
a
next
good
step
plan.
Very
is.
good plan.
Yeah, figure out our next step.
You're welcome to join us for drinks and a dinner, Grigori.
Easy.
Sure.
Among the items you do go through, Lantern,
Yes.
you do find a book, and you've seen enough magic traps and Fiona's own workings to recognize arcane symbology within the book.
She almost certainly attempts to read it, turns it over in her hand several times, flips it so that she's actually looking at right side up.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Fantastic. My specialty. I'm so good at those. I know so much about it. My listening to things that Fiona talks about it on the rare occasion she talks about it has given me a great. Yeah, I'm just going to roll now.
Your Arcana will be as successful as Fiona's animal handling.
14.
That's enough to recognize a spellbook when you're holding one.
Upon making this revelation, Lantern announces to no one, "Aha! A spell book!" and puts it on top of the pile of stuff from Grigori's caravan. Prominently, so it can be seen that there's a spell book there.
We're gonna keep mispronouncing his name as Gregory, aren't we?
I said Grigori.
It's
I'm just
Grigori.
Midwestern and it flattens out the vowels. But regardless of my flattened Midwestern vowels, Lantern doesn't poke around in it too much because she doesn't know how to read spell books. And upon identifying it, it loses much of its interest.
Oh
Now,
well.
Bruno stayed back with the wagon too, didn't he? Or did he come with us?
I thought he was with you.
He
Yeah.
may have been. Oh, you stayed with us? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys are going back to get Lantern.
Yeah.
Get Lantern, get the stuff for the scout.
Yep.
Odds, ends.
Hello. This is the stuff we got from the dungeon, and this is the stuff we got from not the dungeon. And in the second pile, there is a spell book.
Wait,
A spell book.
shall we? Oh,
She points at the spell book.
Was someone on your previous group a caster? Grigori?
Yes. I'm trying to make this work.
Speaking of which, what do you do in a dungeon group, a Delver group?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I am a rogue.
Ah,
That's why I hid.
so like you can actually like find traps and disable them with like actual.
You actually
abilities,
know
which-
what you're doing when you're
Yeah.
doing that?
Yeah, Dori and Fiona are probably exchanging very excited looks.
Am I gonna have to make a third set of lock picks, or do you have your own?
Fourth.
I I got my own.
Okay, good, because that would eat up the last of the short swords I found the lantern gave me.
Vellos has made a lot of thieves' tools. He's
Yeah.
very good at it.
None of us are really good at using them, though. So we each have our own set in case we break them.
Yes.
I don't know. I think I got him figured out. Says Lantern, who is digging through a pile of stuff.
As you all flash back to the fact that Lantern pegged herself in the face with an expendable probe.
Yes. Okay. We think what we're going to do is, and she's talking to Lantern, is go talk to our scout, get all that taken care of. Because the guard captain apparently has had trouble with Delver Cruz not settling things with the scouts.
Oh, that's technically stealing, and you're not supposed to do the stealing thing, she says.
No.
That's
She
right,
looks, she nods, reinforced.
Yes, that's correct. We're not supposed to do that.
Okay, great. I didn't think so, but sometimes you gotta check to make sure the rules haven't changed.
You do
Stealing's
recall-
still against the rules, so we still shouldn't do it. Great.
You do recall that she had implicitly stated, "I don't want to send a taxman after you."
I think that tax evasion is a crime that Lantern is ill-qualified to understand, let alone reference, so this would be stealing from the scouts, as far as she's concerned.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of the scouts take care of all that, so we don't have to think about it. Then I think we're going to go get a stiff drink, or at least one of them into Grigori, if not multiples, and then get something to eat and figure out what we're going to do next.
Oh, I have some
Yeah.
stiff drinks if you would like some of those.
Well, the guard captain gave us free chips for free drinks. elsewhere
Smart.
in the
Then you can
tavern.
drink other people's drinks.
Yes. For free. You not have to pay for them this time.
She taps her head, indicating what a great idea she thinks this is.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna take our loot and head into town to where our
Yep.
scouts are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rory will lead the way.
Alright, easy enough as you guys are able to remember which tavern they were in.
Yep.
The group of finally 5 scouts are sitting around their table discussing things. There is that stressed look of going over non-dungeon related paperwork on their faces.
Hello, we have stuff from the dungeon.
You gotta... They all just kind of jump up at your very loud entrance.
She's also waving, very, very enthusiastically. I must state, she is waving.
Yes, but they definitely did not see you approaching.
They do after I shout at them.
Absolutely.
Amazing how
What?
such a large group can sneak up on their table.
Lantern, you're going
Yeah.
to give somebody a heart attack one of these days.
People's hearts can attack them?
I was waiting for that. I knew that was coming.
Vellos just face palms.
Like, while they're still
Aye.
inside? Is it like an infiltrator? That's horrible.
I walked into that.
Yes, heart attacks are very painful. Nobody wants one.
No,
So it's very
terrible.
sad when they happen.
Terrible. People's hearts should not be allowed to attack them. Other people's hearts shouldn't attack people either. It's rude.
Never change, Lantern.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry, I won't. And she starts unloading stuff that we got from the dungeon.
As we plop down the giant
Dori will look
chest.
over at the scout that they've been working with. We got not a lot, just a couple of magic items,
And a
primarily,
good chunk of gold.
and primarily what we got was gold.
Okay, that's fairly standard, fairly normal.
Yep.
5,400.
Ooh, sizable haul there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lantern carefully lays out vials of purple water on the counter.
we have no idea what those are. They were in
Don't drink it, though!
They are not magical.
Yeah.
Well,
Also not delicious.
huh. All right then. Well, we'll just go ahead and just stick with. What other magic items did you get?
We got an orb, a chime for spiders,
A
and
potion of radiance resistance, and some gems.
Interesting.
The chime
that's
can
right, I
summon
forgot about the gems.
can summon like a few different kinds of giant spider. The orb can cast the light and daylight spells, and can follow the caster around. Can
And
only
the
cast
potion
daylight
of
once a day, though.
radiance resistance is kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
And then 3 gems.
Well, not too keen on the gems. What does this chime of spiders conjure? Is this going to conjure like a massive swarm of spiders in the area, or?
A couple of big spiders to fight for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Like
Up to 3 giant wolf spiders or a giant spider.
Interesting. He thinks for a moment as he's looking over the items in question. Well, what are you guys going to part with?
It is at this point that Lantern, with a mighty heave, puts the decorative statue of the spider goddess on the table.
Please
Oh,
say
right.
that it's just a spider.
yeah.
And then,
spider.
of course, some objects of art. We also
this
picked
looks
up.
nice. This looks
They're
nice.
not
And
magical.
This is heavy.
Yeah, those aren't magical. They're just decorative and pretty.
Well, decorative and pretty is always nice. If you're willing to part
Lantern
with
puts approximately 6 silvers worth of trinkets up next to it.
Well, we'll sit out on those.
Lantern excitedly shovels them back into her own personal bag.
Yeah, you can decorate your room with them. if you want.
I think we wanted to keep the globe.
Yeah, the orb is going to be very useful for us.
I do not think anyone sounded very excited about the spider chime, though.
I don't really know what to do with that.
Well, I mean, we could always use it to summon spiders to help us. Not really my first choice of assistance, but, you know.
They are not very good at opening things.
As one of them is
No,
picking
they
up
aren't.
and examining the statue in a very appraising manner.
After placing the vials of oily purple water, the spider statue, and trinkets and knickknacks on the table, that's basically all Lantern has from this dungeon that isn't in the group inventory.
Yeah.
Part of her
That's
hopes that they
all.
want the purple water, so they'll tell her what it is.
Yeah, they don't look like they know what it is either.
Unfortunate. Then they're on the same page as the rest of us.
You know, and Dori will look over at Lantern. If they're not interested in it, I can try casting Identify on it and seeing if it'll tell me anything. I don't know if it'll tell me anything if it's not.
I don't think it will if it's not magic, but if you wanted to try
No.
later, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I can give it a try, but it probably won't tell us anything, which is a shame.
Well, either way, I got room for some purple water. As long as I don't forget and accidentally drink it.
That would be.
But I don't think I will, because it tasted really very incredibly bad.
Yeah, that did not look pleasant.
No, didn't look like the kind of thing you wanted to drink.
It was a new type of flavor. I thought it might be bitter and I thought it might be sour, but I think it's some horrible combination of the two of them.
Gross. And so we just wait for the scouts to decide what portion that they want for their 25%.
They'll take the statue and 20% of the gold you brought in after an examination of the statuette.
That's like 1,000 if we got
Okay.
5,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
That seems very reasonable to me.
Yeah, 1,080 is 20%.
That works for me.
All right.
Okay.
Leaves us with 4320.
You say 1,080 per, or did I mishear that?
That's their
1,080
turn.
No.
for the scout.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I thought I misheard that.
You did.
Yeah.
All right. Fiona has long since left that poison gland she worked to get out of the spider behind because things got distracting.
Understandable.
She also didn't have a package for it.
Yeah, just kind of carrying it loosey-goosey, it probably got squished along the transit back.
What can you do?
She extracted it. It's good experience. That's what she can do.
It's important to know that you can remove a gland.
Right?
Yes.
And now she knows what it looks like in case they ever need to get one.
Yep.
All right. After we pay the scouts, do we want to go to the tavern and split up our earnings for this dungeon?
I mean,
At least
currently we're
gold-wise.
at the tavern.
Oh. Well, do you want to go get ourselves our own table and split up the rest of our stuff?
That
Yeah, I think
sounds like
so.
a good idea.
I would like to do that also.
All right.
Yep.
At one point, Lantern looks briefly transfixed with horror and, leaning up to Dori, whispers, "I forgot to put the cobweb scraps on the table. You don't think they would have wanted those, right?"
I don't think so. I think you're good.
Okay. She looks relieved.
Oh dear.
All right. So how much of the 4320 do we want to put aside for the wagon?
How much we got in the fund right now?
1492.
Decent enough here.
And how much?
If we split this 4320 evenly between all of us right now, we'd each get 864 gold pieces. Not counting Grigori. Sorry, Grigori.
Zero Spain.
Lori looks over. What is the current? How much do we need for the changes we want to make to the wagon?
Let's see.
Fair bit. A few thousand, I know that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
we
wondering if
need-
we might not be close.
We need two. At least we need 2, maybe 3 more boxes, just so it's not cramped.
Which at this point, at 800 each,
2,400, right?
yeah,
Hmm.
just for the boxes.
Okay,
The
2,400.
furnace is gonna be another. Where is it?
2,500 between the furnace and the forge for the
Right.
hybrid.
Yeah, the hybrid
So
would be
that's-
everything, forge, oven, and whatever else it is.
Yeah, so that's 4,900.
Yeah, and whatever we want to do for
We'll
the
also need a flywheel. Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
need a
that can
flywheel.
run
Those-
anywhere from. That can run anywhere from a few hundred to over 1,000.
So let's say we're looking at probably 5,000, 5,100, because I don't think we need to go with the fancy, expensive flywheel. I think we
We
can
can always
do this
upgrade it
one.
later if we need to.
Exactly.
Yeah, about 5, maybe 6,000 of the Smith and Glassblower workstation.
Do you want to start by getting
So-
the space?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. We get all
If
the
we-
space we need, and then we can start adding the other stuff
Yeah.
in.
get
Alright,
the
So do you
space
want to
and
maybe
then-
have enough for the space as our wagon fund and divide the rest between ourselves, or do you want to add more to the wagon fund first?
Well, we can do 2,000 to the wagon fund right now, which would get us to 3492, which would easily cover the 3 spaces and leave us 1,000 left over to maybe do something else if we wanted to.
Wait a minute. If we put the whole 4,300 into the wagon fund, plus what we've already got, right? I'm not saying that's
That
what
would-
we're going to do. I'm just. How much would that How much would that put in the wagon?
Uh, $5,812.
And we're figuring probably 6,000 to get everything we want.
Probably.
As
How
roughly,
much?
yeah.
So we can't get it all at this point,
No.
No, not yet.
but we can probably get quite a bit of it.
Yeah, we should be able to comfortably get the 3 cubes and the furnace set up.
Yeah,
If
and
we
the
wanna do
flywheel.
that.
And then we do the forge and oven later.
Oh, or the flywheel.
Well, the flywheel is comparatively inexpensive. That's like 1,000, or that's like 150 gold. I think we can wait on the transmutation flywheel and just
Yeah.
get a really basic.
Having a wagon powered one would be nice anyway, since we wouldn't have to use the transmutation one on the move.
Right. And the wagon powered one's only 150. So what I'm thinking is we figure out if we get the wagon powered flywheel and the wood fired stove and the 3 blocks, that it leave us money left over for everybody.
And I will not need to set up a campfire to cook.
And it wouldn't take us near as long
Keep
to
in
put the rest
mind,
of it together.
the wagon-powered flywheel, as its name entails, only operates
While the
when the
wagon
wagon is in movement.
Yes.
Well, the other thing is that we can always get the steam-powered one. We have a water tank and boiler, don't we?
We do.
That's what I thought. So we could do that instead.
We'd be chewing through a lot. We'd be chewing through a lot of firewood between that and the and the hybrid furnace.
Definitely.
Do you guys need more gold? As I speak out?
We're talking about everything that, we want.
We want to put a big forge and an oven and a kitchen and all sorts of stuff in the wagon. But we don't have enough wagon yet.
I aspire to be a great blacksmith, but I'm lacking a proper workshop at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So we've been preparing the wagon to set up such a workshop. So I can make the group.
Okay.
So I can make the group weapons and armor in the future.
That is very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to reach in my wing and pull out 410 gold. And ask, would this help?
You don't need to give us your money.
For those watching,
Look at that for now.
For those watching, what happens is he touches his wing, and it ripples out from where he touches into a sea of deep blue, and he just sticks his hand into that sea and fishes around for a little bit before pulling out what he's looking for.
Lantern is immediately and enthusiastically attentive.
Fiona looks incredibly confused.
So does Vellos, but he also looks very curious.
Did you buy extra wagon space for your wings?
What was that?
I'm going to pull out my rapier, so I got this too.
In a truly awed voice, Lantern asks, looking up at you with just glittering yellow eyes, how much stuff can you carry in your pockets?
I'm going to lean in and whisper, 12 cubic feet.
More than that. A lot more than that.
More than that? Really?
Yeah. No, you are... Let me go ahead and just get to the bat page. I also put it on your character sheet, but... just for your sake, for the Chiro pocket, its storage is 12 cubic feet times your intelligence modifier.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. Okay.
You see Vellos trying to surreptitiously open one of his wings and poke it with his hand.
Vellos, you are yielding no results. So, Grigori, you have 36 cubic feet of storage inside your wings dimensional pocket.
Yes, that is quite a bit. Yes.
Lantern is she is immediately distracted. She is focusing all of her attention on calculations you cannot imagine or describe, but they do involve her counting on her fingers, and at one point she has to bring her tail into it because she runs out of fingers.
Did she bring in her tail before or after her toes?
Before. Toes come next. Because she's wearing little socks on her feet.
Despite trying to be subtle, Vellos is not subtle at all. His wings are practically as big as him, and they're on his back. There's no being subtle about this.
There's not. Vellos, you do not yield the same results.
How does that... What?
You
confuse the dragon.
It cannot be living, just so you know.
Well, that's good to know. We can't just have you carry Lantern around.
Lantern nods, mutters, of course, and reaches into one of her pockets to pull out something that you can tell by the way that her cloak deforms as she pulls it out that it was in there all along. It's not an interdimensional thing. but she pulls out a notebook and starts furiously scribbling notes in Draconic. When you say no living things, she mutters, "Of course," to herself, and goes off on a tangent in a different column of her notebook.
But in all seriousness, your generosity is appreciated, Grigori. We couldn't accept that. That's your money.
Yeah.
But you saved me. I gotta pay you back somehow.
Well,
Yeah, but you're gonna need that to get yourself back on your feet.
yeah, to get yourself supplied properly and everything.
All right, as Grigori
you're
thinks to
gonna-
himself. Yeah, he nods. He goes, "Okay, that's true. That's true."
You'll wind up paying us back, when we're all working together.
Everybody saves everybody's life all of the time.
Fiona blinks as she realizes Dori essentially has already added Grigori to their team. And goes, Dori, you need to ask him if he wants to join us. You can't just assume he's coming with.
Well, that's true. I do realize that, Fiona. It just, but I mean, if he's already offering to put money into the wagon fund, it was kind of implied, I thought.
Could you come with
I'm not
us and
gonna
maybe
get
try to
that.
open the traps so that we don't open the traps badly and eat poison from it? Because it seems like you already want to be a Delver, but you don't have a crew, which is sad because they died. But there is a whole nother crew right here who could really use a guy who can open the trap so we don't open the trap badly and get poison from it.
Or shot.
There's a small thud as Vellos face palms.
She's beaming up at you with the same level of enthusiasm as 100% of her actions.
Grigori, we do not intend to Shanghai you. But you've probably noticed a bit of enthusiasm in our group and the type of habit of, well, steamrolling is probably harsh.
Lantern, you're the Kobold, right?
Yes, I am the Kobold.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna cross my arms. I'm gonna lean against the dragon, as is like a wall, and be like, "Okay, I'll join."
Vellos looks even more confused at this. What the fuck?
Lantern beams at you, delighted that you have recognized the structural stability of Vellos, who is indeed very sturdy. Almost regal, kingly. Oh, that's a secret. Never mind.
I still don't know where you got that idea. Okay.
She winks broadly at him. I don't know either. Probably nowhere, because it's nothing. She winks again.
My sister is
Why
going to
don't-
have way too much fun talking with you, Lantern.
She
Why
beams.
don't we
delighted.
sit down, have a couple of stiff drinks and some dinner?
I would prefer my
Talk
drinks
about
to be liquid, please. They are easier to drink that way.
They certainly are. And discuss what we're going to do next, because we've got a couple of possibilities and we need to decide.
That sounds wonderful.
Excellent. Everybody else with
Well,
me?
yeah, Grigori,
Drink some
welcome
food.
to the
it
group.
is.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for saving my life.
Oh,
Without
I
it-
don't think
The
anyone told
Dungeon
you.
Rollers.
Our group is the Dungeon Rollers. That is our name as a group.
Oh, okay. Dungeon crawlers.
Rollers.
Rollers,
We
dungeon
roll
rollers.
through them like dice or wheels.
Okay.
We
Or a
rolled
bottle
from
if you drop
dungeon
it
to
wrong.
dungeon.
It took us a while to settle on a name.
I like it.
Yes, we do too.
I had a good one, but it was shot down because it was fire related.
Yeah, and at the time we had a member of our team that detested fire.
Yeah. Well, it's understandable after our first dungeon.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
can serve
I mean-
flambés again.
You could.
Lantern starts scribbling in a wholly different part of the book that I'm going to tell you, it's in Draconic, and if you don't read Draconic, you're probably not reading this. But even if you don't, if you've seen a cookbook before, you know exactly what she's writing.
It's like, I don't know. That fiery wolf set me on fire just as much as it did Thorne. And I'm not running from flames every time they hop up.
Well, if you run from things, they're harder to punch them.
Exactly.
Here you guys go. Now you have enough Mansque
Yay.
and its
Yay.
banner in the corner.
That's actually
Yeah.
very, very pretty.
Ooh.
Okay, the crew's sitting down for dinner and drinks. The
You
bar.
offer up
Dori makes sure that
Kit.
Grigori has good stiff drinks.
Whiskey's all around. Got it.
hmm
Whiskey sours flow onto the table.
What is whiskey?
It's what happens when you take specific grains, like of rye or of corn, depending on what type of whiskey, and you put them in a barrel for a really long time until it turns into alcohol.
The answer to your question is also presented in a bottle with a deep, clear amber fluid that has a very nasal passage clearing smell wafting from it with a somewhat there's a certain spiced smell to it coming with.
It mostly tastes like burning.
That's a good way to describe most alcohols.
I think
Yeah,
whiskey
wow.
especially. The mead doesn't really taste like burning. It just kind of tastes like liquid sunshine, and then you're drunk.
Mead mostly tastes like pure sweet.
It is very smooth.
Yes.
I've never had whiskey before.
Well, you're about to.
Shot
I mean, if you drink
glasses
some.
provided.
Lantern's absolutely doing a shot.
Fiona
Dori
will
fills her
pour
shot glass up about halfway.
Oh, if you're pouring a shot for Lantern, she has a much more moderated shot than she would have if she was pouring for herself.
Yeah,
Also shot
Dori will
glass
pour
with
for
tiny-
Lantern too, and we'll pour about the same amount that she poured for herself.
Lantern thanks her and downs it in one go.
Drinks poured, shots taken. There is a citrusy sour undernote to it, but it burns all the way down and flushes into a warmth throughout your chest and abdomen.
Ugh. Is this what volcanics feel like when they breathe fire? Ugh.
no
also, the way it
idea,
feels
but
like
it's
you got smacked in the face.
so good. Gotta love a drink that fights back.
It takes literally that one half of a shot for Lantern to be just tipsy enough to be very excitedly ordering all manner of crunchy pub snack. Like any sort of fried, crunchy, or otherwise delicious, crispy drinking snack is being ordered.
Greasy, fried slices of potato and small breaded strips of chicken that have also been fried.
So French fries and chicken nuggets.
Except it's been fried in lard instead of oil.
Oh, so French fries and chicken nuggets, but delicious.
Exactly. Because oil's kind of expensive right now.
I'll also take
Dori
a bite
asks
of those because they look
bartender-
interesting.
Dorio asked the bartender if there's any way they can get any kind of vegetables.
Get any what?
Vegetables. She's missing her vegetable.
Well, there's the potato pieces, but
Well, in addition
you
to the
can
potato,
absolutely bring like a garden salad to the table or something you've requested.
that would be like, and like bite-sized pieces of vegetable.
Yeah.
Broccoli.
Easy enough that can be brought over to the table. A garden pick salad.
Lantern is enthusiastically offering potatoes and chicken to various people, mostly Vellos. Like you know, Grigori. It does not take you very long to notice that Lantern pays a lot more attention to Vellos than anyone else. So it's like everything first is offered to the dragon. You're probably second because you're the newcomer, and then everyone else with roughly equal intensity and enthusiasm are foisted upon pieces of potato and chicken.
Oh, Lantern.
Deep into that dragon worship.
Once everybody has food and drink, Dory will look at everybody and say, I think we have a decision to make here. And maybe Bruno and I are the only ones who really want the one option. But I want to go find a Wepajet, and talk to him. Because the more I think about it, the more questions I have.
Dori, do you have that spell that allows you to talk to people if you've talked to them before still?
Yes.
Because I don't think this is a guy who you find. I think this is a guy where he tells you where to meet you or you're out of luck.
Oh my gosh. Lantern, you're a genius.
She hiccups delightedly.
Who knows? Maybe we'll meet him on the way to Daltiarna. God knows our luck's been weird like that.
Because I think the first thing that would make sense to be excuse me, and she takes the nearby pitcher of water that I am going to retroactively say she asked for, pours a massive drink of it, downs the entire thing, and says, okay, so first thing that would make sense to do probably is to try to reach out to him and see if he wants to meet up. And if he doesn't meet up, then we probably are not going to meet him soon, and we should keep going while looking for signs of where he is. That is my thoughts.
Okay.
That's fairly reasonable, I think.
Yeah, I think he'd be a hard guy to find if he doesn't want to be found.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking we go to the scout that connected us up in the first place.
Okay, I think maybe we should start going to Gosier then, because that's where we met him. And we go to Gosier and we maybe try to talk to him with the sending. And if he doesn't want to set up an appointment, then we maybe ask the scout from there.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Dori is writing out a message.
25 words.
Yep. She's going to actually, and she's going to kind of put it on the table and say, What do y'all think of that as the message? I only have 25 words here, and I can only cast it once today. So
That seems like it covers all the bases and is. That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward, but I don't
It is.
think beating around the bush is necessarily the right idea.
No, I think that if we tried to beat around the bush, he'd get mad when we did meet up.
He probably wouldn't want to have his time wasted, because guys like that never like it when you waste their time.
okay,
Guys
here
who
we
know
go.
things. Lantern has another drink.
Here we go. And Dori, okay, yeah. So it's Dori will sit there and she will cast the spell and say what's there. Wepajet, we have questions about the letter you sent Joachim. He secreted it in a book that we found. Bruno may be his son.
Okay, I just want to make sure my response was proper. There is a long silence, and you begin to think the spell failed or timed out before you hear Wepajet's voice come into your mind. I wish this stayed dead. I will be in Louvain. Take as long as you need to come. Better if you don't come at all.
Oh,
Louvain.
wow. And Dori will repeat all of that and say, fascinating that it's Louvain where he's starting, because that's where we're from. That's where Bruno is from.
That is a bizarre coincidence.
I
Well,
don't think it's much of a coincidence.
Probably not.
I think it kind of points to the fact that the Joachim in the letter is the same as Bruno's father.
Pops. Yeah. Oh boy.
Then we should probably try to get to Louvain. But it seems like it is not a hurry,
No.
because he doesn't want to talk to us. He's just willing to because of whatever it is horrible enough that he wants to talk to us about it, but he doesn't want to.
No,
More
but
like
I think
he feels we deserve an answer, or at least Bruno deserves an answer, even if he doesn't want to give it.
Lantern
Yeah,
nods
that's kind of what I'm
vigorously. Lantern nods vigorously, because that's what she was trying to say. She's 3 feet tall, and she just did a shot and a half of whiskey. She's,
She's so small.
Yeah.
She had so much.
Fiona has only done one shot, a shot sized more for herself, because she's drinking before. She knows her limits and how to, stay functional when she wants to.
yeah, and Dori doesn't actually want to get drunk, so she's only had the half a shot.
it's probably
She's
not
5'10".
super far into this that you notice that Lantern's head is down on the table, and under the table she appears to be playing with a trinket or knickknack from a collection worth a few silvers.
Okay. As a reminder,
Dori
you guys...
does say, I was going to say, Dori had one other thing to say,
Okay.
which was, it doesn't sound like we need to be in a hurry, but I think that should be the next, if we're going to do this, that should be the next direction we go in, just because the sooner done, the less chance he's going to get distracted by other research opportunities.
Give me... give me an Arcana check or a History check.
Arcana, history. Oh, they're the same for me.
Unfortunate. It's not a high DC. Oof, never mind.
Yeah.
Somebody else may make a check if they wish to.
Arcana or history?
Yes.
Alright. Check if I'm good at history.
I'm good at Arcana.
I'm not.
I am
not
not
either.
good at history. Never mind.
I'm not good at anything with intelligence involved.
Grigori, if you make a check, given who your previous companions were, I'll let you roll at advantage.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. Is it 1d20, right?
It would be 2d20 DL1.
Which would be
Plus
drop lowest
whatever.
one.
Yeah, plus whatever your bonus is. I think they're both intelligence rolls.
What was it again? 2d20 L1?
DL1.
DL1.
DL1 for drop
DL.
lowest one.
DL1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both int.
Do you have any modifiers to that?
Oh, shit.
As Arcana or History, these would be intelligence based.
Nope, doesn't say.
Let me check. You'd have a +3 on your intelligence. So
Oh, shit. Okay.
your History and Arcana would both be at a +3 at the very least.
I forgot to put that in.
So
Did I put that in the bonus?
Yeah, you would have done a +3 at the end of that. That's fine. We'll go ahead and keep that in mind that you rolled a 10 instead of 7, which would be high enough. You assume that the group had been given the name. You assume that this Awepijet figure is a jackal,
Oh.
and
Oh.
knowing that in mind, you realize that this guy is unlikely to be distracted by another project, in so much that if another project does come his way, he will still be able to readily push time aside for the party whenever they show up.
Okay.
Yes. Given that everything a jackal does is calculated to a T in most scenarios.
In other words, he's hoping we'll forget about it, but he's not going to.
Yeah.
Basically.
Which is kind of what Dori is saying, is not that she thinks he would forget about it, but that he would allow himself to be pulled in a different direction for something that was important.
I think Dice is saying that wouldn't happen.
That's what Dori is worried.
Lantern kind of nailed it more on the head.
Yeah.
Hoping that you guys forget about it, because he's not.
Yep. And Dori just wants to make sure that
Well,
he doesn't or doesn't find a way off, find a way to get somewhere else.
You would also
Well,
remember
Louvain-
that. Oh, go ahead.
Louvain is the opposite direction of Velos's home. So we'll have to keep that in mind when planning out our route. Do we want to head to Dol Tiarna first for Vellos so he can figure out or do his family stuff now, since it's closer now than it will be later?
You also remember you're still waiting on some mail, and it's probably going to be a few more days before it gets here.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we've got a couple more days to decide and get all of our upgrades to the wagon installed before we leave Mansque.
Maybe we can find some more things to do so we can afford more wagon. Lantern mumbles into the surface of the table.
We will also have to keep in mind that the wagon fund is also part of what pays for our supplies when we travel.
That's why I think it would be a good idea for us to do more work. Or at least try to make some money some other kind of way.
Yeah. And while this whole conversation about Alephagette and whether to go to Louvain or Lorvain? Louvain?
Louvain.
Louvain.
Louvain was going on, you could Vellos was noticeably drooping a bit at the idea of not getting to see his parents, but he wasn't gonna complain aloud because he knows how important this is.
I mean, Lantern's vote is 100% whatever Velos's vote is, so...
Yeah, it may make more sense to go to Deltierna and then go Serre and then swing around.
Or stop at
Louvain.
Gossier to fuel
Well,
up for the trip into Dol Tiarna.
Yeah, just looking at it, well, it depends on if there's a road from Mansque to Deltierna other than going through Gossier. Looks like the way to get to Deltierna is through Gossier.
Yeah, there's no real proper road leading through to Deltiana. Though there's multiple paths that can be taken.
I only dipped into the forest occasionally to hunt and stuff. I'm mainly stuck to the coast on my way to Gossier, so I don't. I'm not super familiar with the pathways through that forest.
Yeah, we probably have to go the main road then.
Well, actually, I did follow the river a bit and cut through the forest somewhat, but I didn't really go towards Daltiarna directly on my way.
Well, and also the river. Are you talking the? I can't read it.
Hang on, let me get you guys the other
Chans Royale.
Let me get you guys more zoomed in that.
Yeah, the rivers are either the other direction from Gossier and Mansque, or they're along the same path as Gossier.
Yep, the Queen River goes down to Gossier, and we'd have to go out into the sea to get to the Chans Royal River Inlet to take that to Daltiarna if we wanted to go that route.
Yeah,
No,
that sounds kind of the roundabout way of going.
I was saying my route from the nest to Gossier went through the Chans Royale a bit. Used that to help cut through the forest on my way.
Vellos being able to fly essentially took a shortcut going like this.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
As the rest of you, looking at the map that you have, are looking at one of two potential paths going along here, then this way, or following along the mountainside along the border between Alamance, Glassrune, and Aurea, and kind of navigate along here, then go through to
I think personally it would be more beneficial to stop at Gossier first.
Yeah,
and then go to Daltiarna. Because at
That would give us
Gossier we
the-
can also drop off whatever auction stuff we want to sell while we make the
whatever
trip to
auction stuff.
Daltiarna.
That's
Whatever.
true.
We can stock up there, we can sell stuff. heck, if we need funds, we can also take a quick dungeon job while we're there.
Yep. And then we can go to Daltiarna.
Yep. And from there, we can pretty much follow the river to the coast, and I can lead us to the nest from there.